Quarterback Terry Bradshaw summing up the importance of this game to the Pittsburgh Steelers as we come to you from the home of champions, Three Rivers Stadium. That's how it stands for the Bills in the AFC East. They're out of the playoffs but would love to beat Pittsburgh. And for the Steelers, they must win today. If they lose, Houston, regardless of what they do at Philadelphia, will win the AFC Central Division. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Don Criqui with John Brody. A very important game today. The Steelers look on it as a playoff game, because if they lose, they'll have to play a playoff game next week as a wild card, and they also could lose the home field, so they've got a lot on the line, John.
I think, Donnie, the home field advantage is the one they want to lose least, because they're 4-4 at home, they're 7-0. I mean, 7-0 at home and 4-4 on the road. 21 out of 22 at home, and it's going to be hard for them to get ready today. I know everybody says it's a big game, but when Buffalo is playing at home, it's tough to get ready.
Well, there's a couple of tough customers coming in here from Buffalo looking for those Steelers. One of them is Jim Haslett, a rookie linebacker out of nearby Indiana State. I think they got an all-pro here.
This is why I think it's a dangerous situation for him. Jim Haslett comes from the area, little Indiana State, right here in Pennsylvania. He emulates the future personality of the Bills, and that's a tough one.
Our next Steeler, Frank Lewis, will be a wide receiver for Buffalo. He's caught a lot of balls this year, could set a team record, and the Steelers regret losing him. They didn't get anything in return. The player that came here, Paul Seymour, couldn't play, and Buffalo got a potential Pro Bowler.
Well, Don, it's rather hard for anybody to say with John Stallworth and Lynn Swann they miss Frank Lewis, but over 1,000 yards, over 20 yards a catch, he's having a great year.
Two great quarterbacks, both from the same high school, Woodlawn High School in Shreveport, Louisiana. Joe Ferguson of the Bills and Terry Bradshaw. And they are revved up and they are ready. The crowd has come alive at Pittsburgh. So stay with us because we've got a great one coming up. In a moment, it'll be the Buffalo Bills versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You can feel us coming now, a fresh look on the scene, with a whole new style of living, light and crisp and clean. That's why now we say the age of 7-Up is here, because we love that crisp, refreshing taste, so light and crystal clear. Move it up, look it up. America is turning 7-Up, reaching up, feel it up. America is turning 7-Up.
If you're an average driver, you'll use 31,000 gallons of gasoline during your lifetime. That's enough to drive from the Earth to the Moon twice. The Bell System Yellow Pages tells us exactly where we can find what we're looking for. So there's less driving around wasting gas. When it comes to saving gas and dollars, it brings you back to Earth. When you need to know who, what, where, when, and why, let your fingers do the walking through the Bell System Yellow Pages.
Porsche people, get ready. The 924 Turbo is here, joining the 924 with its superb handling. The 924 Turbo. At Weissach, it covers the quarter mile in 16.3 seconds. Its maximum speed, 132 miles per hour. Test drive the legend other sports cars are judged by. Porsche. 924 and 924 Turbo.
Daddy, how do you spell North Pole?
There's one time of year that's always special, the holidays.
Think I have too many things on my list, Dad?
If extra cash can make your holiday extra special, see Beneficial. At this expensive time of year, we want to lend you the full amount you have in mind.
Why does Santa bring me presents, Daddy?
Because he loves you very much.
See Beneficial. Give your family a holiday to remember.
It's Beneficial. You're good for more.
We've got lots of football ahead. We'll be ready for the kickoff of today's game following these words from your local station.
Look, 2 hours.
Fancy labels and prices can be really misleading. On the other hand, an ugly label can be misleading too. Take a great tasting beer like Schmidt's. You think at least they have a decent looking label. As now, no label. About time. Not bad, huh? But remember, when Schmidt's beat Bud in taste test, there were no labels, which proves that taste is still the most important thing. Schmidt's, to taste it is to love it. Right, Moose?
Right.
Animal.
In my neighborhood, you come to us for the best cheesecake, Frank next door for fresh vegetables, and you go down the block to our neighbor, Mellon Bank, for your savings. That's where I found the savings plan that makes the money I save really work to my advantage. That's because Bob here, he's with Mellon Bank, knew just what I wanted. Like I know just what he wants.
Great. You get a good feeling for saving at your neighborhood Mellon Bank.
This ship is longer than the largest ocean liner. It's U.S. Steel's new ore carrier, the Edwin H. Gott. It transports iron ore to our steelmaking plants on the Great Lakes. Our facilities require huge amounts of ore, and this ship will carry 3 million tons a year. This is a major investment, but we think of it as a 1,000-foot vote of confidence in our future. Confidence. At United States Steel, it's one of our strengths.
The Happy Hour, beginning Monday at 5 on Channel 11.
Sports presents the best of the National Football League, the American Football Conference. Today, from Three River Stadium, it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Today's game is brought to you by Radio Shack, the nationwide supermarket of South. By Hertz, where the winners rent. By Michelob Light. After all, it's simply a matter of good taste. And by Dodge. Test drive the new 1980 Dodge cars. Engineered with room, styling, ride, and handling. Good afternoon, everyone, from the home of champions, Pittsburgh's Three Rivers Stadium, the home of the baseball Pirates and the world champions of football, the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is Don Criqui with John Brody, a big game for the Steelers. They must win it. They will not win the AFC Central Division. Chuck Noll knows how important this game is. He's emphasized the importance of beating Buffalo and that the Bills, a two-touchdown underdog, can complete a very successful rebuilding season with an 8-8 record and a win over the champions, John.
I think when you talk about a good season, very seldom is it one that's under 500. But Chuck, you know, Knox has come from a nothing club. Last year, 5 wins. This year, 7. They feel very solidly that they can be a contender within the next 2 years. Today, a win would go a long way in that direction.
We're down to the 5th tiebreaker to decide who wins between Pittsburgh and Houston. If the Oilers should beat the Eagles today and Pittsburgh should win, Pittsburgh wins the division. Any other developments, Pittsburgh does not win. The kick downfield by the Steelers is taken by Keith Moody. He's across the 10-yard line and the 20, breaks it across the 30, and Moody is out across the 35-yard line. So the Bills get the good kick return, something they've not had regularly throughout this season. Their kick returning has been poor. It is one of the weak areas of the football team. Moody has been a very strong kick returner out of Syracuse as a punt return man primarily up until this year. And there are the offensive set for the Bills. Joe Ferguson at quarterback. Terry Miller and Mike Collier start as the runners. Butler and Lewis, the wide receivers. Joe shipped the tight end in for injured Reuben Gant. It's 1st and 10 for Buffalo. Ball at the Bills' 36-yard line, opening play from scrimmage. Ferguson going to put it up. He's looking. He's got a man open. He hits Jerry Butler, and Butler's across the 50. He's inside the 40. And Jerry Butler, all-pro quality as a rookie, takes the ball down to the Steelers' 37-yard line.
I think what you're seeing is what Chuck Knox thinks is his best opportunity to get ahead in this ball game. His personality used to be run the ball, throw the ball in passing situations. He can go back to Buffalo if he attacks Pittsburgh that way. You can see on the first play of the game that is not his philosophy. He's going to have a go at it. He's got 2 great wide receivers to go with.
Butler, a spectacular first-year player from Clemson. Missed 3 games, still has caught 46 balls now this season as a rookie. It's 1st and 10 for the Bills. Hand up. They go up the middle. Terry Miller spins off, and he gets ahead for maybe 9 yards, but penalty markers come in off the play.
I think it's a face mask, Don. We can't tell, but it looked to me like his head jerked.
Donnie Shell looked like the guy who went after him. Shell, the strong safety, is a tough customer. Steelers have some bad news come to them this morning. Jack Ham, their all-pro linebacker, will not play again this season. He's out of this game. He's out of the playoffs. He'll not even make it to the Pro Bowl because of an ankle injury.
68. Face mask. 1st down.
L.C. Greenwood, number 68, the left defensive end. As you look at the Steeler defensive front, Greenwood. That big Joe Green, 75 in there. Gary Dunn, 67. John Banaszak, 76. The Bills are challenging in the opening moments of this game. 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 23-yard line. Handoff. Hitting off the left side for not much room is Mike Collier, a former Pittsburgh Steeler out of Morgan State. A big back. Backs into the right side of the Pittsburgh defense. The offensive blockers for Buffalo have been unable to spring the running game this season. They're not quite sure why. There's some good people in there. Ken Jones, the left tackle, has become one of the most consistent. 2 good guards in McKenzie and DeLamalure. DeLamalure, consensus All-Pro. Willie Parker at center. Devlin's the right tackles. Had some problems with penalties. A gain of only 2. It's 2nd down and 8 now for Buffalo. 22-yard line of the Steelers. No score first quarter, but the Bills are challenging. They're going to throw right now. They go to the pitch back to Collier as the Steelers drop back into zone coverage, and Collier gets ahead down to the 20-yard line. Looked like Ferguson checked off, and he was yelling something over to one of his wide receivers.
And had it not been for L.C. Greenwood, that play was long gone. Had a lot of people out in front of the runner. Greenwood, just with his speed, caught up and brought it down.
Greenwood, Green, Dunn, Banaszak. That's the defensive front. And we got some Buffalo Bills sneaking in there trying to be linebackers for Pittsburgh, but Winston, Lambert, and Cole are the guys who are in there for Pittsburgh. Joe Shipp, the tight end, goes out. Lou Picone comes in, so now the Bills go to 3 wide receivers. It's 3rd down and 7. Steelers line up with people right on the line of scrimmage. Now they drop back. Ferguson on 3rd and 7 takes a look, cocks his arm. He's got a man. It's caught down at the 12-yard line, about the 13. Now they're going to spot it a little farther back out. It looked like it might be short of the 1st down. His receiver made the play, Lou Picone, but he was a little short of the 1st down, so it's going to be 4th and inches. Bills are going to try a kick here, it looks like, John.
Well, you do want to get points on the board when you have an opportunity, and if you have an opportunity first. Very few people have scored anything on the Steelers in the first quarter. Getting any sort of a lead puts, at least it puts it back on the Steelers.
So Nick Mickemeyer, who's been a real find for Buffalo, coming in as a free agent. 16 for 17 inside the 39-yard line. Snap, the set down, whistles blow. The kick is up. It looks like it's right there, but there were whistles. Delay of game is called against Buffalo. So instead of a good field goal, the Bills will have to try it again. Instead of 4th and 1, now it'll be 4th and 6, and take Mickemeyer just a bit farther back, although he's still well within his range.
36 yards is still a chip shot, but once you've kicked one, you'd like to have those points on the board.
So
delay. 5 yards, 4th down.
Okay, we're going to have 4th down over once again. Interesting quote the other day from George Blanda, John. He said inside the 30, he thinks that 90% of the field goal success is the holder. Now, you were a holder for 17 years.
It does help to get it down there.
You were quite a guy. Nick Mickemeyer is blocked. A blocked field goal, and here comes Donnie Shaw with a football for Pittsburgh. So the Steelers make the big play, and how very, very tough that happens to be on the Buffalo Bills as we now see that play will go. Looked like there's a penalty marker down. There was not.
It was a very alert play by Mike Minucci. You were talking about the holder. He puts the ball down. It's kicked just a little bit late and just a little bit low. Looks to me like that's Joe Green. He slipped underneath the block, but Minucci alertly got out there, or Shell might have run it in.
So the Bills are stopped, and now Franco Harris turns the corner, and he is waxed by a rookie free safety. Jeff Nixon out of Richmond, who's playing some fine football. The Bills have 4 all-rookie players. They had a good draft. Hazlitt, Nixon in the defense. And there's the offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bradshaw at quarterback. Blyer and Harris are his starting runners. Great pass catchers. John Stallworth, 66 balls he's caught already. Lynn Swan, the other flank, is healthy again. Tight end Cunningham. Some changes in the offensive line. They've got people hurt there. Peterson and Corson, new starters on the left side for Kolb and Sam Davis. It's 2nd down and 8. Bradshaw goes to the run, right back to Franco. And Harris, the big back from Penn State, who needs just 135 yards to pass Jim Taylor and become the 3rd all-time leading rusher behind Jim Brown and O.J. Simpson. Brings the ball out across the 35 to the 39-yard line. Defensively, the Bills go with the front three, and this has been a tough defensive unit. Ben Williams, Mike Kadish, Sherman White. In fact, in the last 4 games, the Bills have given up only 1 touchdown a game. 4 linebackers in there for Buffalo. Isaiah Robertson, Jim Haslett, Shane Nelson, Lucius Sanford. It's 3rd down and a long 3 for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw steps in, he lets her rip, and downfield it is broken up, so the Steelers will have to punt the ball to Buffalo. The Bill defense started out as the weak unit. The team was scoring a lot of points early in the year. Now the offense has gone a little soft, and the defense is one of the best Buffalo's put on the field in the last 10 years.
And in the last 2 ball games, their offense has failed to score a touchdown. They have to do something today in order to stay in the ball game with Pittsburgh. Their defense seems to be playing pretty steadily, and I think they'll hold their own.
Len Willis and Keith Moody are back deep for Buffalo. There is the Pittsburgh punter, Craig Colquitt. Never had one blocked. He's a 2-step punter. Gets it away very quickly. 1, 2, and boom, and he really unloaded. Moody lets it take a hop, and it jumps into the end zone. Buffalo beneficiaries of a touchback, although in hot pursuit was Anderson, and he almost got to the ball inside the 5. Right now there's a break in the action here at Three River Stadium. We'll be back with the score. The Steelers nothing, the Bills nothing.
You're the skeet shooting expert. What am I doing wrong?
Let's talk about it over a beer. Better yet, over a Michelob Light.
A light beer? Since when?
Since Michelob Light.
The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Compare it to any beer you like.
This Michelob Light's one fine beer. Now, if I can only raise my scores.
Hey, you want really high scores?
Yeah.
Go back to golf.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste to any beer you like.
Yeah.
Super automotive values from Sears. After 40,000 highway miles, then the 2,000-mile Pony Express route, a set of Sears road handler radials exceeded federal safety standards for new tires. Now save $36 to $68 on a set of 4. Now, get a great grip on winter. Get Sears Traction X snow tires. Now on sale. Save 25%. At Sears, where America shops for value.
Back at Three River Stadium, this is Don Criqui with John Brody. Looks like we're going to have a good one here.
It does early. I do think Buffalo's going to put the ball in the air on 1st down. I think that's the only way they can really get in the ball game with Pittsburgh. And we'll see. On your own 20, it's not an ideal situation, but I expect it to go up.
Ferguson took the Bills right down the field. Their first possession, throwing the football. That punt by Colquitt, incidentally, was 61 yards, his longest of the season. Nothing there as the Bills try to go to the run. Harry Miller, who was an 1,100-yard rusher last season as a rookie, he comes into this game with only 471 rushing the ball through 15 games, 3.5 per carry.
You know, Don, to me, the indicative thing is that the 3 primary running backs for Buffalo are all under 4 yards a carry. The 3 for Pittsburgh are all over 4 yards a carry. I think that deals with the personality. Both teams throw the ball a lot, but when they have to run, Pittsburgh does a better job.
2nd down and 9 now for Buffalo. No score first quarter. Back to the run. Here comes Miller. He is a game breaker if he can get that first initial shot through the line. Lambert starts mixing up with DeLon Malier. People would pay to see that one.
I think they already have paid to see it. They'll see a lot of it throughout the rest of the afternoon.
Buffalo took the ball right down the field as you joined us late. Got in field goal range. Nick Mickemeyer drilled it right up and through. But a delay of game call against the Bills sent them back 5 yards, negated the field goal. The next one was blocked by Joe Green. Free ball picked up by Donnie Shell. And so there's no score on the board.
Don, have you ever noticed how when things seem a little lackluster, Jack Lambert seems to create a situation that gets everybody off the floor and into the ball game? They've looked a little lackluster in the first series of plays. Offensively, they didn't move the ball. I kind of think he sits back and says, hey, we got to get something going.
Chuck Noll. Since 1972, the first year the Steelers ever made the playoffs, he's had the most successful franchise in football. The most wins, of course, 3 Super Bowl championships. 3rd down and a long 7 for the Buffalo Bills. Ball at their 21-yard line. 3 wide receivers are in. McCone goes in to join Lewis. Gary Butler. Ball is knocked down. And here's a penalty marker down. The Steelers were really coming. White not happy about something. First thing you do is keep your helmet on, though, when they start swinging. White alternates at defensive end. Here's the call from Fred Silva.
Stan, I guess it was Ken Jones.
Offense, number 72. Illegal use of the hands. Refused. 4th down.
Chappelle, Ken Jones, John.
Well, a guy gets, once a guy gets a reputation for holding a little bit, the officials seem to watch him very closely, and that was a late call, but I'm sure it was a right one.
Now Rusty Jackson's in the game to punt. Standing back at his 7-yard line, he'll get the ball away from about the 11. Hits it downfield and not very well. It takes a funny hop up in the air, and the ball is picked up, and it's going to be returned by T. Bell, who will run it back into a buzzsaw. He doesn't fair catch. The ball is to the 44-yard line. Ken Johnson was down to make the play, so the Steelers with good field position going offense for a second time. 1st and 10 when we return.
The Mitsubishi Bridge from Japan to Dodge.
The #1 gasoline mileage car in America is here, the Dodge Colt hatchback. From a passenger car line, which is in total the most technologically advanced fleet in Japan. Colt is engineered with front-wheel drive and the advanced MCA jet engine.
Take the Mitsubishi Bridge to your Dodge dealer.
We have increased availability of America's #1 gasoline mileage car. See it at your Dodge dealer right now.
You know, it's really gratifying to see so many guys today enjoying tobacco without lighting up. Just like me, they've gone smokeless. Now, I'm kind of partial to Skoal with the wintergreen flavor. Or for straight tobacco taste, try Copenhagen. Or mild Happy Day. Great if you're just starting out. There you go. But whichever, just a pinch between your cheek and gum is all it takes. And I'm mighty proud to say that Copenhagen, Skoal, and Happy Days are official sponsors of the 1980 Winter Olympics.
NBC Sports World salutes the champions of '79. It's been a memorable year, and we'll review the many magic moments and exciting look of the year's major events on Sports Year '79. A salute to the champions, next Saturday on Sports World.
Joe Green of the Steelers once said, they call me Mean Joe Green, but that Lambert, he's so mean he doesn't like himself. There he is sitting at the edge of the bench. And NBC Sports World with a salute to the champions. Coming up next Saturday at 4 Eastern Time. Now we go 1st and 10. Franco Harris takes the ball up the middle. Ball's advanced to about the 48-yard line. A pickup on the play of 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. Terry Bradshaw comes out of Woodlawn High School, Shreveport, Louisiana. The greatest high school quarterback people say they've ever seen came from that high school and is on the field, and he wears number 12, but it's not Bradshaw. It's Joe Ferguson, who followed him 4 years later, broke every record Bradshaw set. Here's a handoff to Blyer. There's nothing there. The Bills close it down. That big nose tackle, Kadish, took on the all-pro center, Mike Webster. Then the linebacker shot in to make the knockdown on Blyer, who's having a good season, averaging 4.8 yards a rush. There's Joe Ferguson. Probably the most underrated guy in the league, John.
I think he got as much talent in his right arm as any quarterback in the game. I think he's been the effect of a poor defense for a number of years, and I think their defense is now coming of what it's an old cliche, but of age. And I think in the future you'll hear a lot about Joe.
3rd down and 7 for the Steelers. We'll see if Bradshaw's going to gun it now. He takes a deep drop. He's got time. He throws, and the ball is incomplete. Excellent coverage. Tony Green, who's the 5th defensive back for Buffalo, was right on the play as they went to their 8th stalwart. Mario Clark and Charles Rome starting at the corners. Nixon and Freeman the safeties, and Tony Green comes in as a 5th defensive back. Bradshaw's saying, Coach, that one didn't work. Send me in a good one.
I think we're getting a good indication of why people are scoring fewer and fewer points against Buffalo. They're playing tight man-to-man defense, and their down 3 linemen are doing well at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Colquitt's punt. His first was 61 yards. This is a good one that forces Moody into a fair catch at his 16-yard line. And so the Bills go on offense for a 3rd time. There's no score on the board. With 7:17 left to play in the 1st quarter, it's the Steelers nothing and the Bills nothing.
Winners go with winners. Winners rent from Hertz.
because number one offers services most others don't, like Hertz Express Car Return. You just drop the keys to your Mustang, LTD, or other fine car and go. Your statement is mailed the same day. No wonder the presidents of over 80% of America's top 500 companies carry Hertz cards.
Hi, OJ.
Hello, Dick. Hertz, where the winners rent.
Mark? Ann. It's been ages.
Can I buy it?
Allow me. 2 Michelob Lights.
Michelob makes a light beer? Perfect. The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Compare it to any beer you like.
You always did go first class.
Your ticket to San Francisco. Thank you.
San Francisco?
You too?
Michelob Light. Compare the taste to any beer you like.
Yeah.
Wednesday, meet a toy maker who's often mistaken for Santa Claus. Then visit a lady who never stops decorating for the holidays. It's a special Christmas celebration on real people.
Sports with a lineup of some of the top bowl games coming up, beginning Christmas Day with the powerhouse Panthers take on the Wildcats of Arizona in the Fiesta Bowl. Then on New Year's Day, the national championship is on the line in the Rose Bowl as Heisman Trophy winner Charles White of USC, ranked third, go against the #1 Buckeyes of Ohio State. And that night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, it's unbeaten Florida State against Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. Bills go to the run. They go to the big back, Mike Collier. But there's nothing there again. Joe Green having an all-pro season once again. He's been to the Pro Bowl 10 times, or will be a 10-time Pro Bowler as of January. Was on the stop along with L.C. Greenwood. They're both 11-year veterans, but they're playing good football still. Banaszak and Dunn, the right tackle and the right end. They'll alternate with Furness and Dwight White. 6 linemen get regular playing time on Pittsburgh. Gain of only a yard. It's 2nd down and 9. Steelers are getting a big rush on Ferguson, so he's got to be wary. He goes to a draw play. Collier turns the corner and advances the ball out to about the 19-yard line. Steelers were playing pass all the way, so Ferguson went to a draw and didn't get there.
Well, I think he hoped they were playing pass, but Buffalo has not shown that they'll throw the ball inside their own 20. I think if they elect not to throw it, they'll be there all afternoon.
Good point. But the Steelers have got a great intercepting team also.
They got a great team.
Lambert has 6 interceptions himself, the middle linebacker. He's tied for 3rd in the National Football League in interceptions as a linebacker.
Got to have a go at him to stand a chance.
3rd down and 7 for Buffalo. No score, first quarter. Ferguson steps in. Penalty markers down. The Bills were holding. The throw is complete to Frank Lewis, who is quickly put down by yet another Pittsburgh All-Pro, Mel Blount. 6'4", 218 pounds, and he plays cornerback. So the penalty is going to go against Buffalo again on a 3rd and 7 play. The Bills got caught back forming the pocket. Five minutes and 39 seconds left to play in the first quarter. No score on the board in a game that Pittsburgh must win to take the AFC Central Division. John?
The situation they're discussing right now, Don, is that they could force a 4th down and 1, or they have their option to get them back there in their own, in a hole where they would either have to throw or be inside their own 10-yard line. I think they'll take the penalty.
Here's Fred Silva.
Offense, number 72, face mask, 3rd down.
Yep, they're going to set them back now on a face mask call against Ken Jones, and the ball is going to be inside the 15-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 12 as Chuck Knox sees his team in a hole early. Not down, though, on the scoreboard. No score. Baltimore's leading the Giants 7-0 in the first quarter.
I think they're coming after him.
3rd and 12, they're threatening the blitz. Their strong safety. Shell has 4 sacks himself for Pittsburgh. Buffalo goes to the run and gets ready to punt the ball. Buffalo playing a computerized football game. They're playing percentages, and it's awfully tough to gamble and win against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's awful tough to win if you don't gamble, Don, in my opinion.
But in your own end, I think Knox's thinking is the specter of an interception could put this game right the other way in a hurry.
There's no doubt that that's his thinking.
Jackson goes back inside the 5-yard line. T-Bell is back now as the deep safety, a lone safety for the Steelers. Jackson takes his time, doesn't hit it very far. T-Bell's going to run it back at Buffalo. He takes it from his 46, goes right ahead across the 50. And Theo Bell moves the ball to the 48-yard line of the Bills. So again, the Steelers are inching their way upfield on changes of possession. This is their best position inside the Buffalo 50. We'll be back in a moment.
Here's an exciting Radio Shack gift idea. Space Patrol walkie-talkies, a Christmas favorite for over 15 years.
Okay, TJ, I'll meet you every
Real two-way radios for outdoor fun and adventure. 2 different models, each with Morse code key. This one has a built-in AM radio. Let your kids join over 3 million delighted Space Patrol owners with a gift price walkie-talkie. That's just $9.95 and $14.95 each. Only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
We got a Dodge van.
And $300.
Only Chrysler gives you a $300 check. Not GM, not Ford. Yeah.
I got a Dodge Mirada and $300.
Get a car or truck, get a check direct from Chrysler. But hurry, this offer ends December 31st at participating Dodge dealers.
Country saying yes.
At participating dealers.
Next Saturday, while old Broads is on the golf course taking somebody's money, I'll be at Bloomington, Indiana for one of the top college basketball matchups of this early season as the Tar Heels of Carolina go against the Indiana Hoosiers, who were ranked #1. It won't be this week. They were beaten by Kentucky, but they're both top 5 basketball teams, and they'll contend for the national championship before it's over. Next Saturday at 2 Eastern time on NBC. Swing pass goes to Benny Cunningham. On 1st and 10, he's inside the 40 and down to the 38-yard line. So the Steelers get the big guy moving. 250-pound tight end Benny Cunningham goes crashing right at the Buffalo defenders for an 11-yard gain.
This play looked as if it might go for a touchdown when Cunningham made the reception. A little play action fake. He holds the linebackers in the center of the field, gets the ball out to Cunningham with 3 men in front of him. Isaiah Robertson forces the play in, makes the tackle himself. Very fine play.
And that is the first complete pass of this football game for Bradshaw and the Steelers, and now they're starting to move the ball. They're down to the 38-yard line of Buffalo. 1st and 10, Steelers, no score first quarter. Bradshaw, the gun arm. John Stallworth turns out, catches his 67th pass of the year.
He was out of bounds, Don. He caught it kind of lazy, and he's arguing with the official at this point, but he lifted his leg just before he caught it and never got both feet in bounds. At least that's the way it looked to me.
We'll watch it again on tape.
All right, let's see. The ball takes a while getting there. He kind of puts it over the top of the...
Yep.
See, he had his right foot lifted.
So he still has 66 receptions. One short of Roy Jefferson's all-time record of 67.
Bradshaw figures he's got one right in the pudding. Comes up for naught.
So now it's 2nd down and 10 for Pittsburgh. Pitch back. Here comes Franco Harris. And the Bills are there to get him. Isaiah Robertson. Number 58, who came to the Bills, as all the Bills fans know, but a lot of others may not, from the Los Angeles Rams, joining his old coach there, Chuck Knox.
Played well here. He's played very well.
Not as good as he did at Los Angeles, though.
He played awfully well out there for a while.
All pro. It's 3rd down and about 7 coming up for Pittsburgh. The 35-yard line. 3 wide receivers in the game. They have Swan and Stallworth on one side, so they can't be double covered. Jim Smith is the other. Here is the pitch up the middle, and nice defensive play by Charles Romes. Number 26, a cornerback from North Carolina Central. He just leaned in and tipped the ball away.
On very few occasions will you ever see a defensive back in a position to knock the ball down when Bradshaw throws that type of pass, as he does so often to both Stallworth and Swan. They get down on the man, they get 20 yards downfield, start coming back, he puts the ball low, they take it on the tarp. That time was just a great defensive play that stopped him.
Now 4th down and a long field goal attempt, a 52-yarder. Matt Barr, who made the all-rookie team, beating out people like Uwe von Schaumburg of Miami and Tony Franklin of the Eagles. And the kick is partially blocked, and it rolls downfield. And so Buffalo is going to come out of this with the ball 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Of course, kicks outside the 20. It's the line of scrimmage when they're missed. And so Matt Barr, who had a good season, has been very hot lately, comes off after his field goal attempt was blocked, as one of Buffalo's was earlier.
Don, you know, very seldom do you see anybody hold Pittsburgh, particularly at home,
right,
if they give them the ball at midfield. Now, the Bills have done it on 3 occasions. They've been up to the task so far. Maybe that's why they're not coming up firing the ball. I think they better if they're going to move it, but we'll see.
Well, they've got the game breakers. One of them's on the left flank. You see his head at the bottom of your screen, Jerry Butler, and Frank Lewis is nose to nose out on the right side as Ferguson drops out on 1st and 10. He throws the ball. Is caught by the tight end, Joe Shipp, but not for much yardage. On a 1st and 10 play from the Bills' 35, he goes out of bounds at about the 38. You're talking, John, about how tough the Steelers are to beat here. They've won 13 straight at Three Rivers and 21 of their last 22. In fact, since their first playoff year in 72, they're 57-8 at home.
That's right. If you're going to throw, you're going to try some vulnerable area. However, when you pick on Dirt Winston, you're generally picking in the wrong area. Number 59, Jack Ham, is out probably for the season with a sprained ankle. They put Winston in. He's played the other side. Now he's back on the left side. Plays both of them very well.
It's 2nd down and about 7. Whoops. Barry Miller slid into second base at about the 40-yard line. Lost his footing. The field looks a little wet. Very unusual climate conditions. It's overcast. This morning it was about 50 degrees, but we're told it's going to be 10 degrees by tonight. We better get back to California.
We're going to have to cool up quick.
Short gain, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 6. Lauren Taves is now in the game. Dwayne Woodruff comes in as an extra defensive back, number 49. They pull a couple of linebackers. Robin Cole goes out along with Dirt Winston. 3rd down and 7, 6.5 for Buffalo. No score late in the 1st quarter. 2:40 to play in the quarter. Ferguson stands in. He's got to hurry. And Joe Ferguson is knocked down by Lauren Taves, number 51, who was one of the best linebackers in the league, even though he didn't start. Pittsburgh so deep in linebackers that Taves started this year as 3rd string.
Generally, when a linebacker's making the tackle on a quarterback behind the line, it's a blitz. This was not. They only sent 4 linemen in on Ferguson. They left a lineman back at the line of scrimmage to pick up the slack. Very effective. They fooled their offensive line.
That's the 42nd time that Joe Ferguson's been sacked this year.
They've been fooled a lot.
Here's the punt by Rusty Jackson downfield. T. Bell, he'll return them all. He will not fair catch. Turns the corner. Good special teams play by the Bills. Old Hazlitt was down there thumping on him. Next Sunday, football's 2nd season begins with the AFC wild card game. The playoffs will be over for the loser while the winner advances into divisional playoff competition. First, it's NFL 79, and then exclusive coverage of the AFC wild card game Sunday on NBC.
You know, Don, you get the feeling this is the Steelers' 4th possession. They haven't capitalized on any of them. They've had good field position on each occasion. If they don't start turning some of it into points, the flow can turn.
Here's a pitch. It's caught by Lynn Swan, and he breaks the defense, and Lynn Swan takes the ball inside the 35-yard line. He's down to the 32. They do indeed need the big play, and they get one. Bradshaw to Lynn Swan.
Yes, sir. If you're going to go to somebody for a big play, this was very well covered by Mario Clark. He's having a fine year. When you're trying to handle Lynn Swan and Terry Bradshaw, you've got your work cut out. You can see he's all over the top of Swan. Just did not get a piece of the ball. Result, big play for Pittsburgh.
A 24-yard gain on the play, so the Steelers now advance the ball down inside the Buffalo 33. It's 1st and 10. No score. Blyer. And Rocky Blyer, the former Notre Dame captain, now in his 11th year as a Steeler, takes it inside the 30.
That play didn't go as far as it looked like it might, because their offensive line, even with 2 replacements, is blowing people off the line of scrimmage. We mentioned early in the ball game, Jim Haslett is going to be the personality for Buffalo in the future. Look at this. Okay, that's Corson in for the first time starting a ball game in 4 or 5 games. He's doing his job.
Hazlett's ready to go now this time. Let's see what happens at second down and about 6. Back to the run. Sidney Thornton in the game, and this big power back takes the ball inside the 25-yard line and close to a first down. This time Jim Haslett was on the stop. We'll watch him.
Sometimes the number of tackles that a linebacker makes is not the indicator. It's where he makes them. You'll notice Lambert, early in his career, made a lot of tackles. Some of them past the line of scrimmage 3 or 4 yards. This time Haslett gets held up a little, just too long, couldn't make the play at the line of scrimmage. As a result, it's 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 it is, as the ball is just short of the Bills' 23-yard line. The clock is running in the first quarter, 50 seconds to play in the quarter, and there's no score on the board. The world champions have challenged. Their first scoring attempt, a field goal, was blocked. Handoff, Franco Harris, and he thunders down to the 20-yard line. It's a first down for the Steelers. Ben Williams, a 4th-year defensive end from Ole Miss. Number 77 was on the stop. But Franco Harris, who comes into this game having rushed for almost 1,100 yards, 4.4 yards a rush, one of his best per carry averages in recent years. He's carrying less, but getting some more. Been at it a long time in his 8th year now from Penn State. Caught a lot of balls, too. He has 34 receptions. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Bradshaw gets it away. Look at Lynn Swan cuts the ball for a touchdown. The spectacular athlete from Southern California goes up. He's only about 5'10", if that, but he can put his feet as high as your head when he goes in the air.
That looked like one of those hop, skip, and jump contests. He got it on the first hop. He could not have extended 1 more inch to grab the ball, got it in his hands, pulled it down. And I'm not certain that Bradshaw was throwing to him, if you want to know my viewpoint.
Well, in the post-game locker room, I'm pretty sure he'll be saying he was.
Oh, sure.
Worked fine.
Beautiful catch.
Matt Barr hits the extra point up and good. And so the Steelers hit him a spectacular play, and here it is.
Okay, I know Bradshaw's attention was down the field on the left side. Yeah, he was going to Swan. Well thrown ball, but a great catch.
Now for an update on NFL 79, let's go to Bryant Gumbel in New York. Well, we'll get that update in a moment. We're going to stay right here at Three Rivers Stadium, where the Steelers have just scored in a 19-yard touchdown pass play. Bradshaw throwing the high hard one, and Lynn Swan going up in the air to get it. He's missed some games this year. There he is talking it over. He's caught coming into the game 38 passes for 20 yards a catch, 4 touchdowns, now 5. He had a hamstring pull and a jammed toe. Steelers really want that week off next week. They don't want to be the wild card team. Right now they're leading 7-0. Keith Moody and Len Willis are back as the receivers for Buffalo. Matt Barr ready to kick it off from his 35. Hits it well downfield. It'll take inside the 5-yard line and come up with the ball is Moody. He's to the 15. It turns outside to about the 20-yard line. And so that will conclude play. At the end of the first quarter, the score is the Steelers 7, the Bills nothing, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
A family gathers together for Christmas, but there's one outsider, their mother's new man.
He isn't Daddy.
He was interested in the business first, Mom.
Is that why you came home? To look after me and protect me?
Maureen Stapleton and Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. star in the world premiere of The Gathering Part 2. Following Little House, Monday on NBC.
Safety equipment and procedures are part of every job at every U.S. Steel plant. Flame retardant jacket and pants, safety shoes with metatarsal guards, leggings, safety glasses, highly reflective coat, gloves, and head protector hood with face shield. These are just some of the many reasons why our safety record is outstanding. Not just for the steel industry, but any industry. Safety. At United States Steel, it's one of our strengths.
In the true spirit of Christmas, your participating McDonald's has a special gift for you. 2 sheets of Ronald McDonald gift wrap, ribbons, greeting tags, and seals. All you need to wrap your presents. free while supply lasts when you purchase a $5 book of McDonald's gift certificates. So this Christmas, experience the joy of giving with Ronald McDonald Gift Wrap, our Christmas gift to you.
Nobody can do it like McDonald's can.
Spirited Adventure on the Big Valley, beginning Monday at 4 on Channel 11.
Lynn Swan, number 88, standing behind Jim Smith, is the man who just put the first points up, taking a 19-yard pass from Terry Bradshaw. He came out of Southern California 6 years ago. What a year of a draft that was for the Steelers. 4 All-Pros. Swan in the first round, Lambert in the second round. No third round. Stallworth in the fourth round, and Webster in the fifth round. Dropping to throw is Joe Ferguson. L.C. Greenwood's after him, and Ferguson with a gun arm fires it downfield to Frank Lewis, who got waffled from behind, I think, before the ball got there.
Well, it's by a good heads-up play on Ferguson's part, gets them a penalty, gets them in a situation where they're out of a hole, they can get a drive started. They tried to go to the screen. Joe Green was standing right in the middle of it. He couldn't throw the ball on a screen, had to roll out, find any sort of alternate receiver he could. With a good play, draws a penalty. Okay, let's take a look. Here comes Ferguson, little play action pass. Now it's a screen. He's trying to go, but Green reads it real early. That's a trick that all real good tackles own, and those screens get harder and harder to pull off.
Well, Ferguson did well to get that ball away because he had L.C. Greenwood coming in down on him. Boy, he's got some arm, Ferguson. First and 10 Buffalo, and the Steeler fans are protesting the penalty. Pittsburgh leads the game in the second quarter, 7-0. Ferguson digging in. He throws. It's caught and lost as Lambert comes in and puts the heat on the receiver, Mike Collier. Boy, that Steeler defense doesn't take much to get them ready. You just rattle the cage.
Just a little bad luck. When you're throwing the ball to your back, you do not want to run into a blitz defense. That puts Lambert man-to-man on Collier all over the field. As soon as Collier comes out of the backfield, Lambert's on him like glue. The ball gets just about the time Lambert does. Unhappy ending for Buffalo.
Lambert had 10 unassisted tackles in Monday night's loss at Houston. He's a leading candidate for most valuable defensive player in the entire league this year with his 6 interceptions. He's playing with a separated shoulder, has been all season. The handoff goes up the middle, and the Bills on second down and 10 try the run, and there's nothing there as Pittsburgh shuts down Terry Miller.
Don, you get the feeling Joe Green knows what this game means.
Yeah.
He's standing in there on that particular occasion. He stood up the right side of the offensive line for Buffalo and with the ball carrier.
That's one of the greatest replays I've seen all season. You see him take on an all-pro guard, Delama Lure. You could see Delama Lure look like he got hit by a Rocky Marciano right hand. Our producer today is David Stern, our director Jim Cross for NBC, as we have third down and 9 coming up. Buffalo trailing 7-0. Ferguson against the rush. Look at these guys come. And Ferguson got his arm moving forward just before John Banaszak leveled him. Gary Dunn, 67, was that guy coming in like some big surrealistic hawk jumping over people.
There's no secret when you play Pittsburgh. You got to execute, whether you throw the ball or run the ball. It's the third and 9 situation for Buffalo. Very tough call for a quarterback. Everybody gets in their starting blocks, tries to get to the quarterback's position before he does. That time, Banaszak did.
Back deep, T-Bell ready to receive another punt from Rusty Jackson. Jackson standing back at the 17-yard line. 14:03 to play in the first half. The Steelers lead the game 7-0. And snap. And Jackson did well to get it away. There is a penalty marker down. Here comes T-Bell. He's across the 40. Turns the corner. He's across the 50, and Bell goes out of bounds at about the 45-yard line of Buffalo.
And I think the penalty will be on Buffalo because the punter took a little too much time to kick it since it hit the ground. He made a good play, but you get in a hurry when you're an offensive lineman. Take off before it's kicked.
Offense on the kicking team, number 52, illegal, downfield, refuse. First down.
Only the wide men can be 5 yards or more downfield before the ball is kicked.
It was an excellent play by Jackson just to pick the ball up, but when it takes that long, you're going to get caught.
The ball is down now to the 48-yard line of Buffalo. Pittsburgh has the ball, 1st and 10. Bradshaw looking for some more. Stands in, throws, the ball is caught. John Stallworth comes back at the ball. This one will go, and he has 67 receptions as he's down to the Buffalo 39, a pickup of 8 yards.
I think the most surprised man in the house was Lucius Sanford. He thought he was in perfect position. He was. Bradshaw throws the ball under him. He's trying to keep it from going over the top. Stallworth comes back right under Sanford and makes the play.
Stallworth just got it away as Kadish was bearing down on him. So John Stallworth has now caught passes in 43 consecutive games. 2nd down and 2, Pittsburgh. Pitch back goes to Franco Harris. And Harris powers his way down to the 35-yard line. Jeff Nixon, the free safety, the rookie from Richmond, made the tackle.
Lots of times little things indicate whether plays are successful or not. That time Mike Webster just kind of, he had Mike Kadish nose to nose. He shot by him, picked up a linebacker, and kept the pursuit out. Maybe we can pick it up. Here goes Webster right by Kadish. Now he picks off a linebacker and keeps the pursuit down. As a result, they pick up 5 yards.
So it's 1st and 10 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 35-yard line of Buffalo. Bradshaw with men on either flank gives off to his big back, Franco Harris, and look at that burst of speed. The stutter step and then the acceleration. It's been his hallmark as one of the game's premier runners, and Franco Harris accelerates ahead for 14 yards and a 1st down.
You know, most teams, when they get players hurt, kind of stay away from the replacements. They don't feature them. In Pittsburgh's case, they've got Peterson and Corson starting for the first time in quite a while. They're running to the left side as much as they do the right, and just as effectively.
Well, as Chuck Knox says, all they do is change the numbers when they put new people in. They're just as good.
Sometimes you never know how good the replacement is in Pittsburgh because he never gets to play.
Bradshaw, 1st down, takes a look into the end zone. Broken up by Nixon. Nixon's only been starting now for the last 5 games, but he has 5 interceptions. He's a rangy free safety. Made every All-America team at Richmond, consensus first-team major college All-American. They thought he was too slow, though, to go high. He went in the 4th round.
Well, Jeff was in perfect position on this play. Normally you get sucked in. Bradshaw was trying to look to the right and get his position a little off center. He was ineffective in doing so. Nixon almost picked it off.
John Stallworth goes wide to the left on 2nd down and 10. Lynn Swan is on the right flank. As Bradshaw rolls out, here's the rush from Kadish. He swings it out and goes to Benny Cunningham. And Cunningham, who is a full load when he gets it moving, takes it down inside the 15-yard line. On 2nd and 10, he might have a 1st down. The scores are coming in, and some of the guys have cashed in, I think. Maybe New England has. Right now, Cleveland is beating Cincinnati 6-0. Ryan Sipe passed to Dave Logan for 33 yards and a touchdown. New England has come back now. Grogan to Horace Ivory. Touchdown. Patriots lead the Vikings 7-6. Big one down in Tampa Bay, where the fans down there are calling the Buccaneers the Chocaneers. They've lost their last 3.
They were just trying to get them a victory a couple years ago. Now they think they got to go all the way.
That's right. 0-26. Now they're no good because they're not heading to the Super Bowl. Baltimore beating the Giants. The Giants have gone south. Talking playoffs in New York. Get happy over very little there. The fortunes they've had. Atlanta leading San Francisco. Old Broad's old team there hanging in. He'll be back. Bradshaw on 3rd and inches is going to run it himself, but he's got the 1st down and he's inside the 5-yard line. Bradshaw lost his hat and took a shot right on the head.
Keep your helmet on, pal, because it hurts without it.
Bradshaw losing his helmet on an 8-yard run for a 1st down.
Looks like his head is cut.
He's lacerated on his forehead. So Kruzek will go in the game. It's backup Mike Kruzek. Yeah, Bradshaw really has a severe laceration. Somebody once said, who's the most important guy on the team? The doctor.
Well, I think John Madden said it. He said Terry Bradshaw's the most important single player on any team in the National Football League right now. I happen to agree with him. He does so many things well. Here's an occasion where his receiver was well covered. He had to pick up a first down, puts his head down and picks it up. Let's see if we can figure out what happened.
Charles Romes covered the black deed. It was accidental, though, as Freeman came in and rode him down. Helmet came off and apparently took a cleat on the head.
I'm sure he'll be back.
He's liable not to miss it down, but he's going to keep him out for a while. Kruzek is in there in his 4th year from Boston College. He doesn't have the arm of Bradshaw nor the running ability, but when he's been in there, he's been a very effective quarterback. Bradshaw doesn't want to look at that.
Next case, let's go.
Put a bandage on there, put the helmet back on. He's ready to go back in. 1st and goal now from the 2-yard line for Pittsburgh. Franco Harris takes it down close to the goal line, but does not take it in. With 11:28 to play in the first half. Here comes Bradshaw. Missed one down.
Once you come off the field, you have to stay out for a play. If you're going to come back, a nice place to have the balls on the 1-yard line.
2nd down and goal now for Pittsburgh. Pitch back. Thornton blocks. Harris carries. Touchdown Steelers. And all of a sudden it's turned into a torrent as the Steelers roll up 13 points and looking for a 14th as Barr is back out on the field with 10:56 to play in the half.
You remember when Pittsburgh started to roll, it started with a little skirmish between DeLamalure and Lambert. Early in the first quarter, the Steelers were a little lackadaisical. All of a sudden, they got their act together, put 14 points on the board, and they're playing very well.
There is Barr, right up and good. Right on time, and so the Steelers extend their lead to 14-0. There's a break in the action here at Three Rivers Stadium. We'll be back with Pittsburgh kicking off to Buffalo after this.
This Christmas card was sent to you by the people at Miller High Life. Merry Christmas.
Hurricane Frederick strikes the Gulf Coast, leaving behind over $1 billion worth of damage. Before the winds stopped, Allstate people were at work, using new techniques of handling claims, like radios and computers.
Place the roof complete.
Okay.
Place the left quarter glass.
Got it.
Speeding up settlement of thousands of claims, both auto and homeowners. Allstate in action. New ways of giving help when you need it. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Wendy Chevy trims the tree with host Candace Bergen. A Christmas visit from the Land Shark. Emily Latella and more on the best of Saturday Night Live.
No problem.
The Steelers ready to kick it off now. Here is Matt Barr approaching the ball as they have extended their lead to 14-0. A high spinner downfield is going to be taken by Len Willis. He's across the 20, 25, 30, not done yet. 40, look out, look out, look out as Len Willis finally gets it out to the 45-yard line. Mel Blunt, that's how good the Steelers are. They have all pros playing on their special teams, made the play. NBC Sports World salutes the champions of '79. It's been a memorable year, and we'll review its many magic moments with an exciting look back at the year's major events on Sports Year '79. A salute to the champions. That's next Saturday on Sports World. Harry Bradshaw being attended to. That was a live shot. They're working on that head again. 1st and 10 Buffalo. 44-yard line of the Bills. Ferguson needs the big play now. Here's the rush. He swings it out. He's got Collier. Good play. Good execution against a big rush, and the Bills get the ball across midfield and down to the 49-yard line of Pittsburgh. Joe Ferguson was so good in high school that Burt Jones waited until Ferguson picked his college. Then Burt Jones selected his. They both came out of high school the same year. Ferguson, of course, picked Arkansas. Jones went to LSU.
I'd say both of them picked the school they played pretty well for.
That's something. Every 16 completions, it's in the end zone on the average. Second down and 4 now for Buffalo. Handoff. Look at the running room there. Collier, an ex-Steeler, thunders through the Pittsburgh defensive front and then rams the ball right down inside the 40 to the 36.
All right, sometimes you guess, and once in a while you're wrong. That time Jack Lambert was in a position, thought he could make the play. You can see him coming out. Couldn't get there in time. Reggie McKenzie got to him before he could get a piece of Collier. Big game.
A 12-yard gain on the play. So it's 1st and 10 Buffalo. Bills trailing 14-0, second quarter. Frank Lewis, 82, goes in motion. Ferguson goes right back to it. Got a good horse riding, boy. They send Collier right at the Steelers again. And he's down inside the 30.
You know, when you sit down and you research a team, or I say you get into preparation, you say, hey, in 2nd and 4, 1st and 10, there's certain situations and tendencies. They come off their right side, off their right tackle a lot. Lambert thought it was coming right there, played the play, and was wrong.
Steve Furness was on the tackle, but 6 yards downfield. It's second down, a long 4 for Buffalo, as they have the ball down to the 32-yard line of Pittsburgh. 8:53 to play first half, 14-0 Steelers. Pitch back. There comes Roland Hooks, taking the ball down to the 29-yard line. This is Don Criqui with John Brody, Three River Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Temperatures in the 40s. The Steelers, with a game they must win to take the AFC Central Division once again, are out in front, 14-0. Bradshaw threw to Swan, 19 yards out for the first touchdown. Then Franco Harris took it in from a yard away behind a big block thrown by Sidney Thornton for the second touchdown. 2 tight ends for Buffalo, Joe Shipp, Ron Howard. It's third down and about 2. Ferguson's looking. Lewis running along. Oh, it's Joe Shipp. Had the ball on his hands, and he would have gone a long way as he had cleared out underneath the deep drop. But he dropped it, and here comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, I think Joe Shipp should have caught the ball, but Ferguson threw it way too hard. It was a very short distance between the quarterback and the receiver. Nobody around him. All he had to do was just kind of plunk it over the top of the linebacker's head. Would have been a big gain. Now they've got to try and kick a field goal. You can see Ferguson knows it. He threw it a little harder than he needed to. Just made it a little tougher catch. Didn't get it.
With rookie Dan Minucci holding at the 37-yard line, Nick Mickemeyer will try a 47-yard field goal. Whoops. A little hitch in his step there. Came up short. Apparently the hold was bobbled briefly, and then Mickemeyer's timing was off. We'll take a look again.
When this happens, Don, usually the holder doesn't get it down in time. As a result, when you get your backswing caught, nothing good happens.
And we'll be back at Three River Stadium in a moment.
This is one of the great masterpieces in music. Not Beethoven's Fifth, another pioneer first. The CTF 950 cassette deck with fluoroscan metering and metal tape capability for virtually distortion-free recording. The pioneer CTF 950, the masterpiece that helps you appreciate others like Beethoven's Fifth or Rod Stewart's latest. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
Ram power. Dodge gives you Ram power.
The new Dodge vans go beyond tough. They're Ram tough. More galvanized steel for critical area rust protection. More than Ford or Chevy. Best mileage ratings with automatic transmission. More than Ford or Chevy.
Dodge trucks are Ram tough.
Get a Ram tough Dodge van. Get a $300 check direct from Chrysler. Now at participating dealers.
Next Sunday, football's second season starts here on NBC with exclusive coverage of the AFC wildcard game. The loser goes home while the winner advances into divisional playoff competition. The AFC wildcard game, next Sunday on NBC. Next Sunday, football's second season starts here on NBC with exclusive coverage of the AFC wildcard game. The loser goes home while the winner advances into divisional playoff competition. The AFC wildcard game, next Sunday on NBC.
The Steelers don't want to be that wild card. And if they win today, they'll not be. Pittsburgh has 126 yards total in this game. Buffalo 61. Steelers on 1st and 10 go to Franco Harris. And Shane Nelson, who's Buffalo's leading tackler this season, number 59, makes the stop. He's in his 3rd year from Baylor. The linebacking has been the strongest area of Buffalo's defensive play. Robertson, Hazlitt, Nelson, and Sanford. A gain on the play of less than 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and a long 8. The handoff goes to Harris. He turns the corner. It comes up to the 30-yard line on a fine defensive play by Shane Nelson, number 59, who ran him down. And so it's going to be 3rd and long now. And we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
The Happy Hour. Happy days again at 5 and again at 5:30 Monday on Channel 11.
That was one of the, Don, that was one of the few times that you'll see an audible called at the line of scrimmage. Audibles seem to be a thing of the past because you never quite know what you're going to get until it's given to you. The defenses can camouflage what they show you, so it doesn't do you any good at the line of scrimmage to change. That time they were in a cover off. Bradshaw went to a blunt, and Nelson played it perfectly.
Bradshaw 5 of 9, dropping to throw on 3rd and 9. He takes a look. He has time. He guns it downfield in a superb defensive play by Mario Clark.
Mario Clark got away with something that time.
So Bradshaw comes off as the Steelers will punt the ball back to Buffalo. We'll watch that play again.
Mario Clark has become an outstanding cornerback over the past few games. They used to pick on him at will. Right now, it's all Swan can do to get underneath. He recovers very well, but he does get a piece of Lynn before the ball gets there.
Keith Moody back deep. A high punt. Colquitt, a good punt. Moody takes it at his 30. Here's a penalty marker down. And Moody is bent to the ground at the 33-yard line. So we'll have to check out this marker now, which stops the clock with 6:18 to play in the first half. Steelers 14, Bills nothing. Punt was 39 yards. Buffalo call for holding on the pass blocking, or the punt return blocking. And so they'll be assessed penalty yardage. It'll knock the ball back inside their 25-yard line to the 23. The Pittsburgh Steelers, as you pointed out at the outset, John, come into this game 7-0 at home. They're 4-4 on the road. So all the more motivation to want that home field. Now, if Pittsburgh and San Diego, and the Chargers are watching this game out in San Diego.
On the return, 21, holding.
If Pittsburgh and San Diego finish with 12-4 records, San Diego would have the home field if they meet in the championship game because of that earlier victory over Pittsburgh. We'll return to Three River Stadium after this.
Take care of your car at Kmart. Our automotive service centers care.
Your Kmart Automotive Center can be your center for Christmas gifts. Anyone on your list would be pleased with this top-quality 21-piece socket wrench set. 1/4 and 3/8 drive, backed by a full unconditional duration warranty. A great gift for $11.88 at Kmart Automotive Centers across the U.S., where quality car products are Kmart priced.
This Bud's for everybody who puts in a hard day's work.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
With John Brody, this is Don Criqui back at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Chuck Noll and the Steelers with a 14-0 lead at the moment over the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo going 1st and 10 from their 20. 6:18 to play in the first half. Oops. Mike Collier didn't find anything up the middle, so he turned the corner and gets outside and runs the ball very nicely across the 25-yard line. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the National Football League is prohibited.
The last time the Bills had the ball down, they moved the ball pretty well at the line of scrimmage. Their people were moving the Steelers back. That time they got stuffed, and Collier picked up a little on his own.
On second down and 3, Collier got to the line of scrimmage, and that was all. Dennis Winston, 53, knocked him down. Collier's third year with the Bills, came to them as a free agent. He was Pittsburgh's 14th round draft choice back in 1979 or 75.
And L.C. Greenwood and Dirt Winston is a tough way to make a living. When you're trying to handle them, it's tough. They get a double team block on L.C. Greenwood. Winston comes right in behind the block, stops Collier just as he gets past the line of scrimmage.
Buffalo's 0-6, 0-4-6 in this game on third down conversions. They have third down and about 2 coming up. Pittsburgh leads 14-0. Second quarter, and here is Joe Ferguson gunning it, and it's almost picked off. Jerry Butler was wide open for just a moment, and Lambert, who has the 6 interceptions, almost had another one.
You hit that right, wide open for just a moment, because Mike Collier was running a pattern underneath. Had Ferguson been able to see Butler early, I think he would have had him. Got him just a little late. Collier took Lambert right into the middle of play. Fourth down.
4th and 2, and that sends Rusty Jackson out onto the field. A punt once again for Buffalo with 4:49 to play in the first half. San Francisco leading Atlanta 14-10 second quarter. Line drive punt. T-Bell will take that one, and here it comes back at Buffalo across the 40. And Bell gets to the 44-yard line with the Steelers going offense once again, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh with Terry Bradshaw at quarterback and a 14-0 lead sends the offense back out onto the field, and we'll be back in a moment.
Mustang, Firebird, Datsun ZX, TR7, Suka, and Dodge 024 start out together. But all sport coupes are not engineered equal. More aerodynamic styling moves Dodge 024 out ahead. And 024's automatic transmission mileage ratings are higher than the others. Some don't have 024's precise rack and pinion steering or four-wheel independent suspension. And none have 024's front-wheel drive.
We're building 024's day and night so you can take delivery of these great mileage cars right now at your Dodge dealer.
I'm Cheryl Teague. I feel at home in front of the camera. But behind the camera, I don't know the difference between a lens opening and a Broadway opening. So I rely on my Olympus OM10. My trusty OM10 gets great shots automatically. My OM10 has the smart little red light that tells me when it's okay to shoot. Oh, it's okay to shoot. Hold it, fellas. With Olympus OM10, great shots automatically.
NBC's coverage of NCAA basketball got underway yesterday with DePaul upsetting UCLA at Los Angeles, and next Saturday another matchup of 2 of the nation's best teams. Defending ACC champion North Carolina, led by All-America forward Michael Corrin, goes against Bobby Knight and his Indiana Hoosiers at Bloomington. That's at 2 o'clock Eastern time next Saturday here on NBC. Here comes Franco Harris. On 1st and 10, Harris carries to the 45-yard line. He got 11 and a first down.
And the Pittsburgh fans are getting more excited because they know, you know, it's funny what certain teams, the fans seem to think their team should work on. With Pittsburgh, it's when they get way ahead, they don't seem to blow people out of the ballpark. And a lot of fans have mentioned that concern. It seems to have been a tendency. It's a nice way to go when that's the biggest concern you've got as a fan.
Hey, I'd like to have the concession for Steeler hats. Everybody here's got one on. Harris has now gained 49 yards and 12 carries. He has a touchdown. Bradshaw, play faking, swings it out. There's Benny Cunningham. Gets away, and Cunningham is grabbed and finally knocked down inside the 30-yard line. It took about 10 guys to do it.
It was Mike Webster and Larry Brown who got Cunningham loose with little screen pass, the same type they threw early in the ball game on the first series of plays. When you have a center that's this flexible, that can do this many things as a football player, you can call these sort of plays. This is a little screen back to Cunningham. Number 52. Webster is the man knocking the linebacker down.
Finally, they wrestle the big guy from Clemson to the ground. It's 1st and 10, Pittsburgh, 29-yard line of Buffalo. Bradshaw, quick screen to Starwood. Blockers in front. What a well-executed play. Buffalo's linebackers penetrated well to knock it down. Sherman White, 83, was through, along with Jeff Nixon and Charles Romes.
You know, Don, when you look at Pittsburgh, I guess that their total yardage statistic is not surprising to anyone. They do more things. They have more variation to their offense, and the best personnel playing it. No wonder they're going to break an all-time yardage stat.
John Starwood now with 68 receptions, a new Steeler record. Second down and 5 for Pittsburgh. 2:59 to play in the first half. Steelers 14, Bills nothing. Bradshaw takes a look. And finally, he goes down. Lucius Sanford was coming on a linebacker blitz. Second-year linebacker from Georgia Tech, 57, and Kadish knocked him down.
Should be interesting to see. They've got a holding call against the Pittsburgh lineman. It would take them out of field goal range, so I feel assured that they'll take the penalty.
It'll be 3rd and 5, and the Steelers are getting 5 yards without too much trouble per play. So there's a timeout on the field with 2:54 to play in the first half. Pittsburgh leading 14-0. And Chuck Noll waiting to hear now.
I think he may insert Jim Smith into the ball game, into their three wide receiver offense if they've got 15 to go.
Holding offense, number 79. Second down.
Got the right tackle, Larry Brown. Jim Smith goes in. Big burly Benny Cunningham comes out. Boy, he is big. Wide to the right goes Lynn Swan and John Starworth. Flanked on the left is Jim Smith. Second down and 15. Bills jumped offside. Sherman White was in the encroachment zone when the ball was snapped. So the Steelers will get back 5, and it'll be second down and about 9. That stops the clock with 2:50 to play in the first half. The Bills, up against the powerhouse team today, are still going to have their best record in some time, and you can't say enough about the job.
86. Offside. Second down.
It was 83 who was offside. Chuck Knox and his staff have done some job putting together a real strong foundation.
Right now, they're working from a strong base. Their defense is outstanding. You don't hear much about Cousineau anymore because Hazlitt's come on so strong for them. But their whole defense is young and tough.
Well, I haven't forgotten about Cousineau, and he will play in Buffalo probably in 3 years. Bradshaw, in fact, I think he's at this game today. Lynn Swan goes up, but not come down with it one-handed. Cousineau requested for a couple of tickets to this game, and they think he's here. And my understanding is part of his package in Montreal is that to get the full money package, he's got to play there 3 years. But if he thinks he's going to own part of a Canadian team, he's dreaming. They're not interested in Americans owning anything in Montreal. The ball's at the 29-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Bradshaw's had a lot of time to throw, but the defenders have been on his receivers pretty close.
Third down and 10 now for Pittsburgh. 29-yard line of Buffalo. Bradshaw, men out wide either side. Here's the deep drop. He throws, and he's got Franco Harris, who loses the ball, and Buffalo might have it. Now to the Bills have it. Buffalo has ball. It will draw a crowd, won't it, John, when it's rolling around out there?
Well, you know, Franco made a fine play. He's made that kind of mistake all year long. He's trying to pick up extra yards. When he does so, he might be switching the ball from hand to hand and has fumbled more than in the past.
So the Bills stop the Steeler challenge, and they now have the ball 1st and 10 at the 21.
Terry had to go to his back. His wide receivers were covered downfield, threw a perfect ball to Franco Harris. He got it hit and lost it. Buffalo's ball, 1st and 10.
He's got 36 receptions this year. That's a career high. So Buffalo goes 1st and 10, and here's Ferguson. Taking a look, swinging it out. Diving at the ball, and it was not a well-thrown ball, but making the catch is Mike Collier. 2:28 to play in the first half. Yesterday, Green Bay beat Detroit 18-13. Jets beat Miami 27-24. And at halftime, we'll be going to New York, where Bryant and Mike are standing by to update us on NFL 79. The scores from around the league. Still no numbers on the board from Tampa Bay. Dewey Selman, one of the Buccaneers linebackers, his wife Catherine is a week overdue, expecting their first child. He said, "Catherine's in a holding pattern, so's our football team." Second down and 10 for Buffalo. Ferguson takes the deep drop, takes a look, lets a rip. Out there is Lou Picone, and he had the ball and lost it. Picone looking back at the ball with all those Steelers converging on him. That takes some heart.
It's got to be the worst feeling in the world. You know that ball's coming. You know everybody else is too. You've got to keep your attention on it. He did a good job of that.
Lou Picone, not very big, but boy, he can play. Special teams terror.
If you're a receiver and a quarterback's throwing that ball down the middle, you know you're saying, "Hurry up, boy. Get it here quick."
Lauren Taves and Dwayne Woodruff in now the pass coverage as we have 3rd down and 10 coming up for Ferguson and the Bills. Good throw and a great catch as Frank Lewis turned in and had a bend back out and leaned in to get the ball for a Buffalo first down. He also stopped the clock after a 21-yard gain getting out of bounds.
In order to catch 53 balls for over a 20-yard average, you have to be an outstanding pattern runner. Frank Lewis has been that. When he was in Pittsburgh, he was a great pattern runner. This time he gets Ron Johnson turned around, cuts out, gives himself some room to the sideline. Big gain, and they've got a chance to get on the board.
First catch for Frank Lewis today, 21-yard gain. It's 54th of the season. He's been averaging 20 yards a catch, having a great season. First down and 10 for Buffalo. 42-yard line of the Bills. 2:18 to play in the first half. Ferguson lets her rip. Lewis goes up and gets another one. Now they rule him out of bounds. He didn't have the ball. Had his hands on it and lost it as the Steelers stripped him. Donnie Shell was covering.
Don, it's my opinion, looking at the back judge's view of the play, that he thought he stepped out of bounds. I don't know if he did or not, but you must have the ball, or
yeah, that's rule
it's never
number 1.
any good.
So it's at the 42-yard line, and 2nd down and 10 is coming up. Lewis was the number 1 draft choice of the Pittsburgh Steelers out of Grambling 9 years ago in his 2nd season at Buffalo.
Looks like a young 30.
He was a 9-400 man in college. They go to the run on 2nd down and 10. They've got to loosen up the defense a little bit as the Steelers are teeing off. Ears pinned back and a coming on the snap.
Well, now that they've established they're going to throw the ball on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, whenever they get an opportunity, a draw should be effective on occasion. They've got plenty of time. They can do what they want now. They've still got 2 minutes.
2 minutes to go in the first half, and we'll have Buffalo with the ball when we return.
This Bud's for all the people who make the sidelines a part of the show.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do,
this Bud's for you.
By trying harder to be faster, Avis came up with the Wizard of Ace.
keep on trying, America. The effort is really everything. We keep on trying, America.
By trying harder, we introduce speed to the rent-a-car business.
At Avis, we don't give up. Trying.
Back at Three River Stadium on a 40-degree day in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is Don Criqui with John Brody. The world champions of football, the Steelers, in a game they must win to take the AFC Central Division, are leading the Bills 14-0. Buffalo has the ball at their 45-yard line. 3rd down and 7 coming up for Ferguson. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Ferguson throws. He's got his man, but Lou Capone lost it. Had it, took a couple of steps, and I think his knee hit it when he was falling down. So very nearly a big gainer for Buffalo, but it's a long out. The Bills will punt the ball back with 1:54 to play in the half.
You know, we haven't seen Jerry Butler catch a ball today, and there's good reason why a guy doesn't catch a ball. Generally, he's double teamed.
He got that one for 27 yards, but he has been double teamed since and hasn't been close to it. 5 for 35 is the punting average for Rusty Jackson. T-Bell, number 83, is back deep now for the Steelers. A high punt, knocked downfield, and Bell will field it at his 8-yard line. Loves to run with the ball. What happens, John, once those feet leave the ground like that?
I tell you, you're up for grabs.
And there's a penalty marker down. So while they assess what the penalty is, the punt of 48 yards was returned 16 yards by T-Bell.
There are very few punt returners who are still returning punts as effectively as this man is after they've been in the league 4 or 5 years as he has. It's a real asset to have one who does it well.
Here is the call on the penalty.
On the receiving team, 21-27, unsportsmanlike conduct between downs. First down.
Steelers became unsportsmanlike. Hawthorne, 27, one of the guilty parties. They also called, I think, 21, did he say? Doug Green calls the Buffalo. Mixed it up. 1st and 10 now for the Steelers. Bradshaw rolling out. Pursuit is on. He lofts it up in the air. Cunningham goes for the ball. And Buffalo has it. Mario Clark picked it off. I don't know how, but Mario headed back upfield with the football. So he's been doing better than the Buffalo receivers have been lately.
That footing is very tenuous right down there between the 40 and 50-yard line. Any pattern that you're going to run, don't make any break in between that area. Bradshaw knows it. He's got his receivers running straight patterns, crossing patterns. He tries to make a great throw out of a bad situation, and this is what happens usually when you do that. Whoops. But they do have the ball in great field position. Lynn Swan's down there covered by Clark, just hanging around the ball. Sometimes something comes up with.
Right
that's
to him.
That's a great reaction.
Bradshaw hit the open man all right. But it's coming back the other way. It's 1st and 10 now for Buffalo, 42-yard line of Pittsburgh. Ferguson swings it out. Collier catches the ball, but there's always someone waiting there. Lambert slams Collier down. Lambert 6'4", 220. And the terrible towels are a-waving here in Pittsburgh.
Well, Buffalo's coming up to the line of scrimmage. As we see this play, Lambert creates a situation again. He knows it's a very important time for Pittsburgh to dig in.
Ferguson throws, and Lambert almost had an interception. Twice today he has come close to intercepting. Lambert is not big as middle linebackers go. He's 6'4", which is tall, but he's only 220. A lot of guys in the league are playing at 245, but he's exceptionally strong, as we saw evidence by him throwing 215-pound Mike Collier down like a sack of wheat.
Nobody told him he wasn't big.
He is a striker. Boy, they got some great ones in that defense. Joe Green backed up by Jack Lambert, and then you got the strong safety Shell, 3 All-Pros right down the middle. Right now, there's a break in the action with 54 seconds to play in the first half. We'll be back.
Once you're here, nothing is ever the same, ever again. The world on the outside is gone. Your family, loved ones, your job, your future. I'm Mike Webster of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know someone in prison. I know he's basically a good man who wants to become a good citizen. But he made a mistake, and he's paying the price. But what about his future? Who will care when he gets out? Well, through the United Way here in Pittsburgh, the Salvation Army is trying to help men in prison put their lives back together again. United Way volunteers, businessmen, professional men, even former inmates work with prisoners who want to help themselves. Thanks to United Way, it's working here in Pittsburgh because people care. And thanks to you, it works for all of us the United Way.
The preceding announcement was furnished as a public service by the National Football League. That's how it stands. 54 seconds to play in the first half. Pittsburgh 14, Buffalo nothing. Bills have the ball. 3rd down and 16 coming up at the Steeler 47. Lewis is wide right, so is Pacone. Butler's on the left flank. They're doubling up on Butler. Now Pacone goes in motion, takes some coverage off Lewis. Penalty markers down. Ferguson throws. Incomplete. Ferguson's thrown a lot of balls in this first half. His 15th pass, he's completed 6 for 58 yards.
They got a free chance that time. Now it'll be 3rd down and 11 yards to go. When those defensive linemen get in their starting blocks, sometimes they leave a little early.
Number 75. 3rd down.
Joe Green. 10th time he's been named to the Pro Bowl. 10 Pittsburgh Steelers are on the AFC Pro Bowl team. Green in his 11th year, and he was the first #1 draft choice they had when Chuck Noll came in out of North Texas State. And the foundation was built for the defense. Then the next year, Bradshaw came in, the focal point of the offense. And the Steelers were shortly thereafter on their way. Ferguson throws, and here is the swing pass. Roan Hooks running with the ball. Hit from behind by L.C. Greenwood, who popped him ahead for 3 or 4 yards. In a 3rd down and 11 play, the Bills got about 6. They're down to the 35-yard line with 33 seconds left, and they're now sending out their field goal unit. 28 seconds on the clock running. They'll run it right down and call a timeout. Unless the Steelers do first, which they apparently are not about to.
This surprises me. I think they're taking time out now because they sent their punting team on the field, and that doesn't make any sense at all.
It is their punter, Jackson, out there. Now he's heading off and working on getting on the same page here.
You know, Don, they have to do something to get back in this ball game. Turning the ball over with 15 seconds to play when they've got a chance to pick up a 1st down, get some points on the board, is not taking a chance of getting on there. Now the offense is coming back on the field.
Baltimore's beating the Giants 17-0 at the half. Chuck Knox, and there's the veteran Bill Munson in the red jacket to the left, backing up Joe Ferguson along with the rookie Dan Minucci, who Knox thinks is going to be an NFL player. Minucci.
We're watching Joe Ferguson with Knox. That man in the red jacket is Bill Munson. He's been around for 16 years. Joe said he's helped him quite a bit this year, just from a settling down situation. They've become good friends, and Munson agrees with me that Ferguson might have the best arm he's ever seen.
That's a pretty good arm. He's very strong, Ferguson. Not that much weight. Only weighs about 188. But he works on the weight machines, does a lot of calisthenics, stretching. He's got an arm like a good catcher. He just flicks the ball from behind his ear.
One big play right now could put this ball game back in the hat. It's been all Pittsburgh throughout the first half. 7-point difference is not the difference between these two teams.
4th down and 4. They feel they're out of field goal range, so they'll go from scrimmage with 15 seconds left. Let a lot of time get away. Here's Lewis down the sideline. Incomplete. Bills let about 18 seconds run off the clock, though, and now it's down to 10, and Pittsburgh takes over the ball with a 14-0 lead, and they're about ready to take their winnings for the first 2 quarters to the locker room.
The problem's been in Buffalo's case when they have thrown the ball that Ferguson hasn't had enough time to allow his receivers to get into the secondary and run their routes. As a result, he's got to throw it before they break, and the ineffectiveness has shown the problem.
Well, the Bills have had trouble running the ball, and Ferguson has been forced to throw it more and more. As the Steelers, who knew this game was important, are playing like a playoff team. They're geared up and ready. Here's Thornton on the last play of the first half, running ahead and getting across the 40-yard line. And so the clock runs out. The first half ends, and the Pittsburgh Steelers take the 14-0 lead to the locker room. NFL 79, a complete report on this 16th weekend of play is coming up here on NBC. Steelers scored on a touchdown pass from Bradshaw to Lynn Swann, 19 yards, and later on a Franco Harris touchdown run from a yard out. Buffalo's been knocking. Ferguson's been so close in many throws, John.
I think, Don, they just have to give him a little more time to get his receivers open. They could make this a ball game. So far, the Pittsburgh defense has been outstanding.
We'll return to Three Rivers with the second half after a report from NFL 79.
Hey, let's go play fireman. I've got a new fire helmet and fire engine. You can be the fire chief. I'll run the truck. I'll run the siren. Let's go.
Radio Shack's fire engine can be set for 6 different driving patterns with these easy-to-change cams.
Get ready. Here it comes.
Set truck to go straight, in a circle, rectangle, oval, figure 8, even zigzag.
Stop the truck. Pull up the ladder.
Radio Shack fire engine and helmet sold separately. Comes with everything you see here. Batteries not included.
Incredible. You're putting me on.
We're eavesdropping with hidden cameras as people discover the 1980 Dodge Aspen is sticker-priced $800 less than any other 6-passenger car.
The features that this one has for under $5,000, I think is amazing.
And that includes a fuel-efficient engine, automatic transmission, power steering, and more.
All for under $5,000. Can't believe it.
Aspen is the only 6-passenger car under $5,000. Buy a 1980 Aspen now at a participating dealer and get a $300 check direct from Chrysler.
NBC Sports World salutes the champions of '79. The amazing Charles White, a dazzling display at night, and a graceful swan in flight. Larry Bird's dismay over Magic's passing display to a title no one could take away. In Baltimore, the Birds flew high until the comeback no one could deny, while a former champ could only ask why. Sports Year 79, a salute to the champions. This and more December 22nd on Sports World.
Halftime score at Three Rivers Stadium. The Steelers leading the Buffalo Bills 14-0. This is Don Criqui with John Brody. John, you know the Bills have to come out pitching in the second half, but giving Ferguson time to throw is another story.
I think that's been their problem up to now, Don. We do know that when you run the ball against Pittsburgh, you can just file your whole act. They started out throwing the ball a little bit. They've thrown it a little more frequently, and I think you can see it in the air for the whole second half because that's the only chance they have.
How would you like to have L.C. Greenwood and Joe Green coming after you?
I've had it a few times, and I didn't like it.
All right, we're going to get an update on the rest of the National Football League as we go now to Bryant Gumbel, NFL 79 in New York.
It's the final week of the NFL's regular season, and even as the Steelers rush their way towards another AFC Central crown, you should know that the Browns and the Bengals are deadlocked at 6, and the Bucs and the Chiefs are scoreless down in Florida. All this while the Colts are surprising the Giants in the Meadowlands. I'm Bryant Gumbel, along with Mike Adamley. We've got the scores of Week 16 and many of the highlights, too. We'll get to it all right here at NFL 79 following these messages from your local station.
Hello, I'm Jim Turner of the Denver Broncos. We read and hear almost every day about the problem of energy conservation. It's a real problem. It's one that needs your help and mine. Energy. We can't afford to waste it.
You won't find our kind of living just anywhere you go. It's the people here who make this town. It's the people who make it grow. It's people helping people, people willing to give. It's Pittsburgh National Bank, helping right here where we live.
There's a beer that's going round all the hottest spots in town. Everybody calls it Icy Light. It's really getting through to the ones who like a lighter brew. They're calling for Icy Light. It's a taste that says today, that's why you
Here come United Airlines Sunbirds, coming with our best offer yet to Florida.
Coming to take you to 7 Florida cities with our best discounts going. Buy just 7 days in advance and save 40%.
Here come the Sunbirds.
Stay as little as a weekend or up to 60 days.
Here come United's magnificent Sunbirds.
Coming to take you to the sun.
Fly the friendly skies.
Travel agent.
Channel 11 wishes the Jewish community a happy Hanukkah.
Here's the estimate.
A lot of money for a small hole.
Rebuilding costs are going
Through the
through the roof.
Glad it wasn't the whole house.
What if it were? Could your insurance rebuild it today?
Never thought of it.
Allstate has. We have homeowners insurance that can increase your coverage as rebuilding costs go up automatically.
You're smart to keep up with rising rebuilding costs.
Yeah, glad I thought of it.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
And that's a promise from us, the good hands people.
Back at Three River Stadium, the Bills are on the playing field, and here come the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's Jerry Butler and Joe Ferguson. Well, up getting set now. I'm sure Ferguson, John, would like to get the ball into the 80's hands a couple more times.
Well, and I don't blame him. Jerry Butler is a great rookie, maybe the finest receiver to come in the league this year. He's broken open a few ball games for them, but he hasn't scored any touchdowns in the last 7 or 8 games. We saw Joe go to Butler early in the game. The first play of the game, they picked up 27 yards. He hasn't even thrown in his direction since. Sometimes you forget about somebody that's been double covered on a few series of downs, and then they go away from their double coverage, and you still forget about them. I think they're going to have to go to Butler a little more as they do Frank Lewis, and they could be more effective.
That's how it breaks down. The Steelers dominating on the scoreboard. Certainly, statistically, they lead 14-0. Bradshaw, the 109 yards passing on 8 of 16. Wendell Inswan, 19 yards and a touchdown, first score of the game. Been some turnovers in the game on part of the Steelers. Stopped a couple of other drives. And right now, the Bills with a need for touchdowns. They are down 14-0, and about the only way they're going to get it into the end zone is throwing. And Ferguson's going to have to throw under pressure to get him there.
The surprising stat to me, Don, is that they've had the ball more than Pittsburgh has. When you're given the ball that much of the time, you should put some points on the board. They haven't been in a lot of run-pass situations, only on first down. So they have been dictated to as to what defense they're going to see, and it makes it tough to operate, but they've got to do something. They've got to create a situation. I've said several times, I think the best way to do it is let number 12 get up there with his arm and start cranking it all over the field.
The Bills will have high positions in the next draft. They, of course, have their own number 1. They also have San Francisco's number 2 as part of the O.J. Simpson trade, and that'll be the second pick of the second round. So the Bills are going to come out with 2 of the top 30 players. They're looking at tight ends. Everybody likes this kid from Nebraska, Junior Miller, 6'4", 250, runs with the backs, tight end. Jim Richer, a center from North Carolina, is very highly regarded also.
Well, I think when you just mentioned a problem that Buffalo has at this point. Reuben Gant gets hurt. They've got Joe Shipp playing tight end, but you'll notice a linebacker is covering most of the day. They leave the free safety back there in case he gets away from the linebacker, but that enables them to double cover both outside receivers. So the going's tough, but they've got to do something to get back in the ball game.
Chuck Knox is from nearby Sewickley, Pennsylvania. In 5 seasons as head coach of the Rams, they were NFC Western champion 5 years, now in his second year at Buffalo. He was criticized in Los Angeles sometimes, saying his offense was boring, and he responded to that by saying, the only thing boring about football is losing. How many divisional championships did we win?
And he's got it just right, because Chuck Knox has been an outstanding coach everywhere he's been. In Los Angeles, they won every year he was out there. They improved as soon as he got to Buffalo. He's a real character guy. I think in my opinion, he's what I would call a guy that is a good judge of talent. And when you are that and you can administrate properly, your team is going to be on the rise.
And of course, Terry Bradshaw earlier in this game suffered a lacerated scalp on this play. Oh man, the foot came in there after the play. So Terry gets up, and he missed all of it down. He missed one down.
He doesn't stay out long.
Kruzek, his backup, has never thrown for a touchdown. He directed the second touchdown, handed off to Franco Harris from a yard out. That's all you need. So it's 14-0 Pittsburgh, and now the Bills are ready to kick the ball off. Back deep is Larry Anderson, number 30. He is in the middle. Nate Hawthorne's on the left. The Pittsburgh Steelers with a lot of good people lined up on their kickoff return team also. Greg Hawthorne is back deep, and his ball is spinning over his way, but Anderson's going to move behind him and take it. And this is Anderson taking it across the 15 and the 20 and out to the 28-yard line. Jeff Nixon, 38, was down to make the tackle on special teams for the Buffalo Bills. If they go on offense, the Steelers do now, 1st and 10. On offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers, their quarterback is Terry Bradshaw. The runners are Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris, although we're going to see a lot of Thornton, it appears, in the second half, and Thornton's in the game now to start. Sidney Thornton. Wide receivers John Stallworth and Lynn Swan. Tight end Benny Cunningham. Orson, Peterson, Webster. On the left side, Larry Brown at right tackle. Franco Harris carries in a first down play and advances the ball across the 30. The Bills defensively line up with a front three. Ben Williams, 77. Mike Kadish, 71. Sherman White, 83. Linebackers, 58. Isaiah Robertson. 55. Jim Haslett, the rookie. 59. Shane Nelson. And 57. Lucius Sanford. Mario Clark and Charles Romes are the corners. Jeff Nixon and Steve Freeman are the safeties. Second down and 8 for the Steelers. Bradshaw stands in, throws it down, and Stallworth has the ball. Charles Romes got him around the ankle, and that was enough to finally bring him down. But there's a big gain on the play out to the 46-yard line. It's a first down for Pittsburgh.
You give Bradshaw that much time, his receivers have a chance to run alternate routes. They were covered on their original route. They moved it around a little bit. He spotted Stallworth open. Just like eggs in a basket. When you go back there and you're not rushed and you're not hurried. You see Williams got in pretty early, but he stepped underneath. There was no one to force him to throw early. It's an easy day when that happens.
Chris Keating is backing the line now for Buffalo, number 52, a rookie from Maine. Haslett is out of the game. He's been thrown out. Downfield they go, and Sidney Thornton, who had some injury problems after starting out great. He was out then about 4 weeks with an ankle injury. Is back and raring to go in playoff form. Thornton on the big gainer receiving a Bradshaw pass.
You know, people have talked about how well Rocky Blyer blocks, and he does. He's also an excellent runner, and his yard per carry average, as the other two backs is over 4 yards a carry. But this guy not only can run with the football, he can block, he can catch. He's an all-purpose back. Pittsburgh's got 2 of them.
And they also have another first down as they start to mount a challenge in the third quarter. Sidney Thornton gets the call again. He is down to the 27-yard line. Keating on the tackle. Keating will be in there the rest of the way. Haslett has been thrown out of the game. We haven't spelled it out to us, or they have not. It's just what the reason is.
Well, they've stated that he's got a personality like Jack Lambert. Somebody said he kicked Bradshaw first, but I don't know if that's the reason, but I do know he's not in the ball game.
Second down and 5 coming up now for Pittsburgh. The ball's advanced down close to the 25-yard line, and a second down and 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 3. I'd like very much to find out, if we can, what the reason Haslett is out of the game for. We'll get down to our sideline men. Chuck Knowles' first season at Pittsburgh, 1 victory, 13 losses. But that was the Terry Bradshaw year. When Bradshaw suffered that cut scalp, Haslett was thrown out for unnecessary roughness against Bradshaw. Third down and 3. Franco Harris to the outside. And Harris runs it down inside the 15-yard line before Jeff Nixon knocks him down.
He really got a lot of help that time from John Stallworth. He kind of waited, allowed Stallworth to come back from his wide receiver position, chopped down the linebacker, and allowed him to go outside, pick up a big gain.
We'll watch it again now from the end zone replay.
Well, Bradshaw hands off to Franco. It's a trap play. The Steelers trap everybody. You can see Mullins gets a pretty good block. But now here comes Stallworth all the way from the inside. Franco sets him up, goes to the outside, 1st and 10.
Pump fake, the throw, and it's tipped away. Lynn Swan goes for the ball one-handed. Guarding him on the play was Mario Clark, who has 1 interception today. So it will be 2nd down and 10 for Pittsburgh, 14-yard line of Buffalo.
You can see Bradshaw figured he'd have Swan open. Mario Clark's got the toughest job in the world. He has no help to the inside from the linebackers. The linebackers are man-to-man on the backs in this instance. Clark's got him all over the field. Lynn gets inside, but he just can't pick up enough ground to get to the ball.
So the Steelers now 2nd down and 10 at the 14-yard line. Sidney Thornton turns outside. That's Thornton, a 225-pound back build and a 5-foot 10-inch frame. Crashes on down to about the 8-yard line.
He was a little disappointed. I think he lost his footing a bit when he made his cut up the field. He had 2 good blockers out in front of him.
If the Steelers win today, it'll be the 100th win for Pittsburgh under Chuck Noll. He'll become the 14th NFL coach to win 100 games. The Steelers now with 100 yards rushing in the game, and not many teams have done that against Buffalo recently. Bills have been real tough to move the ball against. Buffalo's defense coming into this game had given up only 1 touchdown a game for the last 4 weeks. But they're about to give up a third as Thornton is in the end zone. Sidney Thornton, straight ahead power, drives it right on in.
When they get in trouble, they say, Mike Webster, we're going to run another trap block. You get your man, our guard will get his. They come to it whenever they feel they have to get yardage inside the 10-yard line. They do it effectively. Thornton picked up the last 3 yards on his own, but take a look. You can see Larry Brown cracking down, gets the defensive tackle, allows Thornton to get through at the point of attack, and he carries it right on into the end zone. That's tough down there, and these guys do it consistently well.
Boy, they do. They just fire out off the snap, blast away at the defensive front, and then those power backs pour through, and that time Thornton takes it in. And so the extra point by Matt Barr up and good, and Pittsburgh extends its lead to a commanding 21-0. Steelers ain't going to be no wild card.
We got a Dodge van.
And $300.
Only Chrysler gives you a $300 check. Not GM, not Ford. Yeah.
I got a Dodge Mirada and $300.
Get a car or truck, get a check direct from Chrysler. But hurry, this offer ends December 31st at participating Dodge dealers.
Country saying yes.
At participating dealers.
Some guys never learn. They're still taking it on the chin. Gotcha. Norelco offers the Norelco rotary razor. Not 1 or 2 blades, but 36 blades. Inside 3 adjustable floating heads. And a unique shaving angle for a very close shave without a nick or cut. So say hello to the Norelco rotary razor. And say goodbye to Gotcha.
He's a 20th century man who awakens to a world beyond his wildest dreams. The greatest movies in Star Wars, Buck Rogers in the 25th century. A 2-hour box office hit Thursday.
Terry Bradshaw wounded, but he's been right in there pitching ever since. He was apparently kicked in the head when he ran with the ball and lacerated. Now the running turn by Keith Modi is out across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh Steelers just going 71 yards in 9 plays. Their 3rd touchdown. Those of you watching in Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay will see this game in its entirety. If it gets more out of hand, if the Steelers put any more points up, and the rest of the network may very well be switching to the Kansas City Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. Here comes Joe Ferguson and the Bills, 1st and 10 at their 26-yard line. Steelers took the opening kickoff of the second half and subsequently turned it right down into a touchdown. Ferguson throws. Lewis seemed to be behind the pass coverage, but the ball was tipped away. Dirt Winston, 53. Getting some.
I mean, they're calling the plays that they hope can get them back in the ball game, but I can't even see anybody open from up here, Don. So you know Ferguson's having trouble. That time Winston got right in the lane. His intended receiver, Frank Lewis, had no case.
None at all. It'll be second down and 10 now for the Buffalo Bills. Ferguson continued the game having hit 53% of his throws. Passed for 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He's been sacked this season 42 times. Starts to hurt. Second and 10. Mike Collier, who's been getting a load of running work, but not many yards, gets it across the 25 and got to the line of scrimmage. Joe Green, 75, knocked him down. Dwight White is in it, right defensive end, 78. Steve Furness, 64th, the left tackle, right tackle. L.C. Greenwood and Joe Green, the left side of that defensive front. Baltimore now leading the Giants 24-7. Robin Cole, Jack Lambert, and Dirt Winston back the line. Third quarter score. Mel Blunt, Ron Johnson at the corners, J.T. Thomas and Donnie Shell are the safeties. Now Dwayne Woodruff goes in. On third down and 9.
Got them all at the line of scrimmage.
They give you a lot of looks, don't they? You're not sure what they're going to do. Ferguson throws. Jerry Butler gets the ball. But the Steelers have that first down marker hemmed off. You're not going to get to that.
All right, that play is designed to go behind the linebackers. But Butler cannot get deep enough, easily enough, to be able to take it all the way behind the linebackers, or Ferguson wouldn't have had time to throw. So he had to cut it underneath the backers. When he did so, they recovered and kept it short of a first down.
And once again, T. Bell is back to receive a Buffalo punt. There is the punter, Rusty Jackson. At his 20. Bell takes it at the 21-yard line. Takes a look. Here's a penalty marker down as Bell starts up. Turns the corner. Foot races on. They try to get him at the pass and knock him out of bounds. Mike Collier finally ran T. Bell out. Here's a penalty marker down. T. Bell, with number 83, would be starting on a lot of NFL teams as a wide receiver. Returning punts is all the work you can get here at Pittsburgh.
They've got another one, Jim Smith, that might be playing for quite a few teams. And when he did play, he looked like a carbon copy of the other two.
You talk to the Pittsburgh players, and they all are very aware of the talent this team has and the way it's been put together. But another big attribute the Steeler organization has is a tremendous camaraderie. These guys like to play in Pittsburgh, Super Bowl years or not.
That's how you become a good team.
Back, number 27, holding.
Right now, after the penalty assessment, there's a break in the action, a timeout, and we'll return to Three Rivers Stadium in a moment.
I didn't always fly my own plane home from the tour.
Arnold Palmer, back again in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
I had to do a lot of driving on a lot of roads in my early years as a pro, so I didn't need car troubles. Well, I just remembered what I had learned from my dad about Pennzoil. And you know, since then, Pennzoil and I have been down a lot of roads together.
Pennzoil, America's ask-for motor oil.
Monday night was Nancy and lobster. Tuesday night, Marie and veal parmesan. Wednesday night, Monique and beef bourguignon.
For those occasions when you're not sure what you're having for dinner, bring along the wine that's correct with any dish. Blue Nun, the delicious imported white wine that goes as well with meat as it does with fish.
Friday night? Oh yeah, Friday night.
NBC's gonna bowl you over starting Christmas Day as Pitt takes on Arizona in the Fiesta Bowl. And New Year's Day, the #1 Buckeyes battle Charles White and the Trojans in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. Then the Seminoles face the Sooners in the Orange Bowl.
We are back at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, where the Steelers have a 21-0 lead and the football. First down and 10 at their 25-yard line. Bradshaw at quarterback. 145 yards passing, looking for more. Brings it out. Big Sidney Thornton has the ball. And look at Nixon come up and wrestle him down. Well, that's a full load to take on.
Well, it looks to me as though Pittsburgh is working on their weakness, because they have not let Buffalo up since early in the second quarter. They continue to put points on the board, and they continue to go after them. This play, when things are going well, they just seem to fall in place. Both Buffalo defenders run into each other, knocking each other out of the play. Sidney Thornton turns it into a big gainer.
So the Steelers have the ball first down and 10 at the 43-yard line of Buffalo. Bradshaw, rolling, dropping, Blitzer flies, intercepted. Nixon with his 6th interception. I tell you, this kid's going to be in the league a long time. He doesn't play like a rookie.
Well, that's a gimme right there, Don. Bradshaw's thrown a few passes in the last 3 or 4 weeks that really look a little suspect. Now, that ball should not have been thrown. It's thrown in the middle of the field, soft. It's the kind of pass you throw when you figure you can do no wrong. And as soon as you start thinking that way, you do a lot of things wrong. He's trying to throw off balance to a wide receiver running straight down the field into his own defense, and you can't get away with it.
So the Bills go on offense, first and 10 at their 30, trailing in the game 21-0. Ferguson hands off to Collier, and Collier crashes out across the 30, out close to the 33-yard line. And we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
The Big Valley, TV's most popular Western adventure, returns to Channel 11 Monday at 4.
With John Brody, this is Don Crickey at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. As you see the score, the Steelers leading 21-0. A game that they must win in order to again win the AFC Central Division and escape playing a wild card playoff game next week. Houston will be a wild card, one of the 2 in the AFC, if the Steelers win this game, and they give every indication of being on their way to another win. Second down and 6. Ferguson takes a drop, looks, stands in, throws. That ball's intercepted by Shell of the Steelers. So Pittsburgh gets it right back.
Tell you, when you start getting to the quarterback, it really allows those defensive backs to start playing the play. That time, Shell was the intended receiver as far as he was concerned. He jumped in front of Lewis. Lewis had no chance to make the play. Get a little active down there, Don.
It is. Guys are all revved up. The Steelers will have a couple of weeks off if they win this game. And Buffalo, after its first possession, hadn't been in the general vicinity of the Steeler end zone.
All day long, the cornerbacks for the Steelers, Blunt and Johnson, have been playing face-to-face against the wide receivers. In doing so, they've taken their routes away. They've made their wide receivers come into their holes late. And their pass rush has been good. It's allowed their safeties to play the ball. And Shell comes up with an interception.
Gary Bradshaw hands off. Thornton turns the corner. He's inside the 40. Puts his head down and gets down to the 35-yard line. Boy, they're up and yelling and whooping and stomping here in Pittsburgh.
They can't get enough.
John, here's a report on that big NFC Central battle. Weather is a big factor. Tampa Bay and Kansas City are scoreless in the 4th quarter in heavy rain and mud in Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, Chicago is leading St. Louis 14-0 in very cold weather in the 2nd quarter at Soldier Field in Chicago.
Well, it's just like Tampa Bay's behind then if they're tied, because they lose if they tie.
That's right. Bradshaw, 11 of 21, 177 yards and a touchdown. Handoff goes, and Kadish makes a play. Here's a fumble. Buffalo has the ball. The Bills get the ball back.
Getting a little sloppy, folks.
Dee Freeman might have been the guy who scooped it up as Franco Harris coughed it up.
Okay, it's the 4th turnover for the Steelers. They've turned the ball over quite a bit this year, and they've still been the most productive team in the National Football League. That kind of puts to rest that old cliche about fumbles, injuries, and turnovers, doesn't it?
Right now, as Buffalo comes out to go first and 10, there'll be a break in the action with 5:43 left to play in the 3rd quarter, and the Steelers leading the Buffalo Bills 21-0.
From the legend that is Nikon comes the new Nikon EM. And from the Nikon EM comes...
Smile, Gabby.
nieces, nephews, this sharp, this clear, every time. Because even with a flash, the Nikon EM is fully automatic.
Shoot a couple. It's easy.
Okay. Just focus and shoot.
It is easy.
But you pay for this camera. And the Nikon EM comes at a very easy price.
That's all? For a Nikon?
The new Nikon EM, it's not just a camera. It's a Nikon.
The Mitsubishi Bridge from Japan to Dodge.
The #1 gasoline mileage car in America is here, the Dodge Colt hatchback. From a passenger car line, which is in total the most technologically...
Goes to the outside, 1st and 10.
Pump fake, the throw, and it's tipped away. Lynn Swan goes for the ball one-handed. Guarding him on the play was Mario Clark, who has 1 interception today. So it will be 2nd down and 10 for Pittsburgh, 14-yard line of Buffalo.
You can see Bradshaw figured he'd have Swan open. Mario Clark's got the toughest job in the world. He has no help to the inside from the linebackers. The linebackers are man-to-man on the backs in this instance. Clark's got him all over the field. Lynn gets inside, but he just can't pick up enough ground to get to the ball.
So the Steelers now 2nd down and 10 at the 14-yard line. Sidney Thornton turns outside. And Thornton, a 225-pound back build in a 5-foot 10-inch frame. Crashes on down to about the 8-yard line.
He was a little disappointed. I think he lost his footing a bit when he made his cut up the field. He had 2 good blockers out in front of him.
If the Steelers win today, it'll be the 100th win for Pittsburgh under Chuck Noll. He'll become the 14th NFL coach to win 100 games. The Steelers now with 100 yards rushing in the game, and not many teams have done that against Buffalo recently. Bills have been real tough to move the ball against. Buffalo's defense coming into this game had given up only 1 touchdown a game for the last 4 weeks. But they're about to give up a third as Thornton is in the end zone. Sidney Thornton, straight ahead power, drives it right on in.
When they get in trouble, they say, Mike Webster, we're going to run another trap block. You get your man, our guard will get his. They come to it whenever they feel they have to get yardage inside the 10-yard line. They do it effectively. Thornton picked up the last 3 yards on his own, but take a look. You can see Larry Brown cracking down, gets the defensive tackle, allows Thornton to get through at the point of attack, and he carries it right on into the end zone. That's tough down there, and these guys do it consistently well.
Boy, they do. They just fire out off the snap, blast away at the defensive front, and then those power backs pour through, and that time Thornton takes it in. And so the extra point by Matt Barr up and good, and Pittsburgh extends its lead to a commanding 21-0. Steelers ain't going to be no wild card.
We got a Dodge van.
And $300.
Only Chrysler gives you a $300 check. Not GM, not Ford. Yeah.
I got a Dodge Mirada and $300.
Get a car or truck, get a check direct from Chrysler. But hurry, this offer ends December 31st at participating Dodge dealers. At participating dealers.
Some guys never learn. They're still taking it on the chin. Gotcha. Norelco offers the Norelco rotary razor. Not 1 or 2 blades, but 36 blades. Inside 3 adjustable floating heads. And a unique shaving angle for a very close shave without a nick or cut. So say hello to the Norelco rotary razor. And say goodbye to Gotcha.
He's a 20th century man who awakens to a world beyond his wildest dreams. The greatest movies in Star Wars, Buck Rogers in the 25th century. A 2-hour box office hit Thursday.
Terry Bradshaw wounded, but he's been right in there pitching ever since. He was apparently kicked in the head when he ran with the ball and lacerated. Now the running turn by Keith Modi is out across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh Steelers just going 71 yards in 9 plays. Their 3rd touchdown. Those of you watching in Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay will see this game in its entirety. If it gets more out of hand, if the Steelers put any more points up, And the rest of the network may very well be switching to the Kansas City Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. Here comes Joe Ferguson and the Bills, 1st and 10 at their 26-yard line. Steelers took the opening kickoff of the second half and subsequently turned it right down into a touchdown. Ferguson throws. Lewis seemed to be behind the pass coverage, but the ball was tipped away. Dirt Winston, 53. Getting some.
I mean, they're calling the plays that they hope can get them back in the ball game, but I can't even see anybody open from up here, Don. So you know Ferguson's having trouble. That time Winston got right in the lane. His intended receiver, Frank Lewis, had no case.
None at all. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the Buffalo Bills. Ferguson continued the game, having hit 53% of his throws. Passed for 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He's been sacked this season 42 times. Starts to hurt. 2nd and 10. Mike Collier, who's been getting a load of running work, but not many yards, gets it across the 25 and got to the line of scrimmage. Joe Green, 75, knocked him down. Dwight White is in it, right defensive end, 78. Steve Furness, 64 at the left tackle, right tackle. L.C. Greenwood and Joe Green, the left side of that defensive front. Baltimore now leading the Giants 24-7. Robin Cole, Jack Lambert, and Dirt Winston back the line. 3rd quarter score. Mel Blunt, Ron Johnson at the corners, J.T. Thomas and Donnie Shell are the safeties. Now Dwayne Woodruff goes in. On 3rd down and 9.
Got them all at the line of scrimmage.
They give you a lot of looks, don't they? You're not sure what they're going to do. Ferguson throws. Jerry Butler gets the ball. But the Steelers have that 1st down marker hemmed off. You're not going to get to that.
All right, that play is designed to go behind the linebackers. But Butler cannot get deep enough, easily enough, to be able to take it all the way behind the linebackers, or Ferguson wouldn't have had time to throw. So he had to cut it underneath the backers. When he did so, they recovered and kept it short of a 1st down.
And once again, T. Bell is back to receive a Buffalo punt. There is the punter, Rusty Jackson. At his 20. Bell takes it at the 21-yard line. Takes a look. Here's a penalty marker down as Bell starts out. Turns the corner. Foot races on. They try to get him at the pass and knock him out of bounds. Mike Collier finally ran T. Bell out. There's a penalty marker down. T. Bell, with number 83, would be starting on a lot of NFL teams as a wide receiver. Returning punts is all the work you can get here at Pittsburgh.
They've got another one, Jim Smith, that might be playing for quite a few teams. And when he did play, he looked like a carbon copy of the other two.
You talk to the Pittsburgh players, and they all are very aware of the talent this team has and the way it's been put together. But another big attribute the Steeler organization has is a tremendous camaraderie. These guys like to play in Pittsburgh, Super Bowl years or not.
That's how you become a good team.
Back, number 27, holding.
Right now, after the penalty assessment, there's a break in the action, a timeout, and we'll return to Three Rivers Stadium in a moment.
I didn't always fly my own plane home from the tour.
Arnold Palmer, back again in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
I had to do a lot of driving on a lot of roads in my early years as a pro, so I didn't need car troubles. Well, I just remembered what I had learned from my dad about Pennzoil. And you know, since then, Pennzoil and I have been down a lot of roads together.
Pennzoil, America's ask-for motor oil.
Monday night was Nancy and lobster. Tuesday night, Marie and veal parmesan. Wednesday night, Monique and beef bourguignon.
For those occasions when you're not sure what you're having for dinner, bring along the wine that's correct with any dish. Blue Nun, the delicious imported white wine that goes as well with meat as it does with fish.
Friday night? Oh yeah, Friday night.
NBC's gonna bowl you over starting Christmas Day as Pitt takes on Arizona in the Fiesta Bowl. And New Year's Day, the #1 Buckeyes battle Charles White and the Trojans in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. Then the Seminoles face the Sooners in the Orange Bowl.
We are back at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, where the Steelers have a 21-0 lead and the football. First down and 10 at their 25-yard line. Bradshaw at quarterback. 145 yards passing, looking for more. Brings it out. Big Sidney Thornton has the ball. And look at Nixon come up and wrestle him down. Well, that's a full load to take on.
Well, it looks to me as though Pittsburgh is working on their weakness, because they have not let Buffalo up since early in the second quarter. They continue to put points on the board, and they continue to go after them. This play, when things are going well, they just seem to fall in place. Both Buffalo defenders run into each other, knocking each other out of the play. Sidney Thornton turns it into a big gainer.
So the Steelers have the ball, first down and 10 at the 43-yard line of Buffalo. Bradshaw, rolling, dropping, lets her fly, intercepted. Nixon with his 6th interception. I'll tell you, this kid's going to be in the league a long time. He doesn't play like a rookie.
Well, that's a gimme right there, Don. Bradshaw's thrown a few passes in the last 3 or 4 weeks that really look a little suspect. Now, that ball should not have been thrown. It's thrown in the middle of the field, soft. It's the kind of pass you throw when you figure you can do no wrong. And as soon as you start thinking that way, you do a lot of things wrong. He's trying to throw off balance to a wide receiver running straight down the field into his own defense, and you can't get away with it.
So the Bills go on offense, first and 10 at their 30, trailing in the game 21-0. Ferguson hands off to Collier, and Collier crashes out across the 30, out close to the 33-yard line. And we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
The Big Valley, TV's most popular Western adventure, returns to Channel 11 Monday at 4.
With John Brody, this is Don Crickey at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. As you see the score, the Steelers leading 21-0. A game that they must win in order to again win the AFC Central Division and escape playing a wild card playoff game next week. Houston will be a wild card, one of the 2 in the AFC, if the Steelers win this game, and they give every indication of being on their way to another win. Second down and 6. Ferguson takes a drop, looks, stands in, throws. That ball's intercepted by Shell of the Steelers. So Pittsburgh gets it right back.
Tell you, when you start getting to the quarterback, it really allows those defensive backs to start playing the play. That time, Shell was the intended receiver as far as he was concerned. He jumped in front of Lewis. Lewis had no chance to make the play. Get a little active down there, Don.
It is. Guys are all revved up. The Steelers will have a couple of weeks off if they win this game. And Buffalo, after its first possession, hadn't been in the general vicinity of the Steeler end zone.
All day long, the cornerbacks for the Steelers, Blunt and Johnson, have been playing face-to-face against the wide receivers. In doing so, they've taken their routes away. They've made their wide receivers come into their holes late. And their pass rush has been good. It's allowed their safeties to play the ball. And Shell comes up with an interception.
Harry Bradshaw hands off. Thornton turns the corner. He's inside the 40. Puts his head down and gets down to the 35-yard line. Boy, they're up and yelling and whooping and stomping here in Pittsburgh.
They can't get enough.
John, here's a report on that big NFC Central battle. Weather is a big factor. Tampa Bay and Kansas City are scoreless in the 4th quarter in heavy rain and mud in Tampa Bay. Meanwhile, Chicago is leading St. Louis 14-0 in very cold weather in the 2nd quarter at Soldier Field in Chicago.
Well, it's just like Tampa Bay's behind then if they're tied, because they lose if they tie.
That's right. Bradshaw, 11 of 21, 177 yards and a touchdown. Handoff goes, and Kadish makes a play. Here's a fumble. Buffalo has the ball. The Bills get the ball back.
Getting a little sloppy, folks.
Steve Freeman might have been the guy who scooped it up as Franco Harris coughed it up.
Okay, it's the 4th turnover for the Steelers. They've turned the ball over quite a bit this year. and they've still been the most productive team in the National Football League. That kind of puts to rest that old cliche about fumbles, injuries, and turnovers, doesn't it?
Right now, as Buffalo comes out to go first and 10, there'll be a break in the action with 5:43 left to play in the third quarter, and the Steelers leading the Buffalo Bills 21-0.
From the legend that is Nikon comes the new Nikon EM. And from the Nikon EM comes nieces, nephews, this sharp, this clear, every time. Because even with a flash, the Nikon EM is fully automatic.
Shoot a couple. It's easy.
Okay. Just focus and shoot.
It is easy. What'd you pay for this camera?
And the Nikon EM comes at a very easy price.
That's all? For a Nikon?
The new Nikon EM, it's not just a camera, it's a Nikon.
The Mitsubishi Bridge from Japan to Dodge.
The #1 gasoline mileage car in America is here, the Dodge Colt Hatchback. From a passenger car line, which is in total the most technologically advanced fleet in Japan. Colt is engineered with front-wheel drive and the advanced MCA jet engine.
Take the Mitsubishi Bridge to your Dodge dealer.
We have increased availability of America's #1 gasoline mileage car. See it at your Dodge dealer right now.
Back at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the place they now call the City of Champions, with the baseball Pirates and the football Steelers, who are out in front of this game 21-0. 5:43 to play third quarter. Buffalo with a fourth Pittsburgh turnover has it first and 10 at the Bills' 26. This is ludicrous.
White comes up with this one. It's wet, but it's not that wet.
Field a little wet. Hadn't rained all day, though. Dwight White, Mad Dog White, they called him. Comes off the field. Well, they're trying hard to give it back and forth to each other. So Dwight White, after one play, gets the ball right back from Buffalo, and now the Steelers go on offense at the 29-yard line of Buffalo. First and 10. Whoops, another fumble. They better check the footballs.
Well, they change them every play down. They can't all be wet before they're in use. That's just one of those exchange problems. You see Webster kind of slides it right through Bradshaw's hands. That fumble's on the quarterback, but the ball is a little bit slick.
Second down and 13 now for the Steelers. Here's Bradshaw looking deep. Swan's running a deep pattern. He fires. Swan dives at the ball at the 21-yard line. Swan ran the deep pattern, then cut back. In the booth with us right now is Mrs. Terry Bradshaw, JoJo Starbuck. JoJo, what do you think of all this?
Well, I'll tell you,
very little apparently.
It must be just another day at the plant, because
well, that's the replay. All right.
It is pretty funny when you're ahead 21-0.
Oh, the old man's going to be tonight there if he got kicked in the head. A little headache. Still no score. Tampa Bay and Kansas City. Third down and 13. So the Bills pour through in that play, and they knock down Bradshaw back at the 40-yard line of Buffalo, and that brings up fourth down. And here it is again as we see Buffalo get its first sack of the Pittsburgh quarterback.
Well, again, this time Bradshaw's receivers weren't open, but he didn't have enough time. The pass rush has to improve. A whole lot of things have to change around, or they're liable to get blown right out of town.
Williams, Kadish, and Sherman White all smoking on through. And so now with fourth down coming up, Colquitt is out in the field for one of his infrequent punting appearances. There's the snap. He angles for the near sideline. Moody lets it go out of bounds if it does. And it goes out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. So the Steelers really have it rolling right now with 4:23 left to play in the third quarter, and Pittsburgh in the lead 21-0.
Winners don't have time to wait. so they rent from Hertz. Nobody can get you into your Fairmont, LTD, or other fine car faster than number one. With the Hertz number one club, you just show your credit card, your license, sign, and go. No wonder the presidents of over 80% of America's top 500 companies carry Hertz cards.
Hiya, Juice.
Hey, Jimmy Connors. Hertz, where the winners rent.
You never thought you could go this far, this fast.
But this is your chance to match wheel for wheel with the best, and you go for it. You go for all the gusto you can get, making the most of now, from the life you live to the beer you drink. Schlitz, the one beer brewed with gusto since 1849. The official beer of the Winter Olympics. Go for it.
Mike Adamley in New York telling you that torrential rains in Tampa Bay kept both teams off the scoreboard for over 3 quarters until Ricky Bell gains 12 yards here out of bounds to set up the first score of the game. Here it is. The spot by Tom Blanchard. The kick by Neil O'Donohue. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead the Kansas City Chiefs 3-0 in the 4th quarter. Let's go back to Pittsburgh and Don Criqui.
So there you have it. Tampa Bay on the foot of Neil O'Donohue goes out in front 3-0. Maybe they will be in the playoffs. Neil O'Donohue to Tampa Bay via Dublin, Ireland. Buffalo on 1st and 10 from their 1-yard line. Tries to crash out with Collier on the carry, but the Steelers slam it right down. And the 3rd quarter clock runs with 4:10 to play in the game, and the Steelers in the lead 21-0.
You know, Don, this is a type of ball game where there is no type of brilliance as far as play selection is concerned that's going to get you out of a trap. The players are not playing up to their capabilities, and they haven't been throughout the last 2 quarters. And if offensively they don't play well, no matter what you call it, it ain't going to work.
2nd down and 10 from the 1-yard line. There again, the Steelers converge, and now Joe Ferguson will have 3rd down and about 10 coming up with the unhappy option of throwing from his end zone or running it again into the Pittsburgh defense and then having his punter kicking from 11 yards back rather than 15.
Well, the way I look at it, you don't have an option because you've got to throw the ball when you're 21 points behind. I don't care what yard line you're on if you want to get back in the ball game.
I'll accept that.
If you want to keep the score down, run it.
All right. You got it. Bill's only 1 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. Ferguson throws, and it was an out pattern. Lewis was running a fly pattern. It's incomplete, and now Rusty Jackson's going to have to hope for a good snap and a quick punt because the Steelers are going to be rushing hard. The Bills won't have the usual 15 yards the punter normally takes in his drop. They'll have about 11. Rusty Jackson lining up. The Steelers drop back T-Bell, and they put 10 fire-snorting guys up front ready to move. Good job. He got it away and hit it well. He drives T-Bell back to the 47-yard line. And Bell is hemmed in. Excellent special teams play by Buffalo. The ball away. Now a couple of the guys mixing it up here, and we'll be back at Three Rivers Stadium after this.
Come get in. Something to drink. 2 weeks in the desert, and you bring us beer? We want something special. Bull. Bull?
The Schlitzmott Liquor Bull. It is a special premium brew that's in a glass by itself.
What extraordinary taste. Come get in. How can we repay you?
Well, Sahib, I do take all major credit cards.
If you want to change of pace, with a big bold taste. Don't say beer, say bull. Bull. The Schlitzmott Liquor Bull.
In just 3 years, audio buffs have made Pioneer speakers America's best-selling. Pioneer is also the leader in cassette decks. Over the years, our amps and tuners have received critical acclaim. as have our turntables. So, if you want a hi-fi system that's matched as carefully as it's engineered, get a component ensemble from Pioneer. Because a component ensemble is only as good as the components ensembled. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
Back at Three River Stadium, we have these two lovely ladies with us, Mrs. Terry Bradshaw and Mrs. Lynn Swan. How did you feel when Terry got kicked in the head, JoJo?
Very upset. When I was watching it from the stands, I had no idea that he was kicked or that his helmet was off. But his brother, Craig, is sitting in front of me, and he told me about it. And my mom in California told me how bad it looked on the close-up. That's the only way I knew.
And it's good to see Lynn back, Bernadette.
Yes,
good shape.
it is. I was worried.
He's all right. Well,
Yeah.
you girls are going to the Super Bowl again, I guess.
I hope.
Getting to be old business, isn't it? Thanks for coming by. Lots of good luck. Okay. Mrs. Terry Bradshaw and Mrs. Lynn Swan, JoJo and Bernadette, and right now the Pittsburgh Steelers have the ball, 2nd down and 6 coming up, 32-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. Pittsburgh leading the game 21-0, 2:15 to play. In the third quarter, they go to Thornton. He is a truck. Thornton now running hard down to the 30.
Very difficult to execute any sort of a reverse play or a trap play when you're playing in wet conditions. And right down there between the 30 and the 45, it has stayed wet throughout the ball game.
Thornton with those 7 rushes. Today, John Stallworth has caught 3 passes for 26 yards, bringing the season total to 69 receptions, a new Steeler record. 3rd down and 3 now for Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers. Franco Harris delivers the money yards on a 3rd down carry. He drives ahead for 5 yards and a Steeler first down. Isaiah Robertson, number 58, knocked him down. $8:50 left to play in Tampa Bay. And in the rain, Neil O'Donoghue's field goal from 19 yards out keeps the Buccaneers 3 points up on Kansas City. Chiefs looking to close with an 8-8 record on the year. They've been hot in recent weeks. The Bears beating St. Louis at Soldier Field 21-0 now. It'll be to no avail if Tampa Bay holds on. Now running it down to the 21-yard line is Sidney Thornton. Shane Nelson was on the tackle. The Houston Oilers are going against the Philadelphia Eagles in their season finale today at the Astrodome. Of course, the Chargers and the Broncos ready to tee it up. We won't know until Tuesday morning, probably, New York time. Who's in?
Then the computers have to stay in condition, or everybody's back in the dark.
Franco Harris has rushed for 80 yards today and 18 carries. Bradshaw, a deep drop. He's looking. He throws. Randy Grossman in a tight end going for the ball, but it's overthrown. On a 2nd down and 7 play, they go incomplete, so it'll be 3rd down and 7. Some of those Steelers pump that iron. They let you see those muscles. 3 guys in their offensive line bench press over 500.
And they like to wear those short-sleeved jerseys, don't they? You can see Bradshaw's having a little problem finding anybody on this play. The ball was actually a little bit overthrown. That's a man he very seldom misses connection with. Randy Grossman is a fine receiver, and he's come to be a pretty fine blocker, too.
Now the Steelers go 3rd down and 7. Grossman's to the left side. Swan and Stallworth their flank. Bradshaw has time. He throws. Too much on it. He was going for Lynn Swan. And Swan had a step on the defense, but the ball came in high.
Don, he'd like to have been able to throw the ball where he wanted, but it was pretty good defense by the linebackers. Swan's on a crossing pattern. When you get a lot of time, you can afford to call crossing patterns. Pittsburgh's had that luxury all day long. Takes a long time to develop this pattern. Bradshaw gets enough time, but the linebackers drop in. He has to throw the ball over the top.
Here's a 38-yard field goal attempt now. With Cole quit holding, Matt Barr will attempt it. He's got it up in the air. But he is wide to the right, so it's no good, and Buffalo takes over the ball as time runs out in the 3rd quarter. After 3 quarters of play, the Pittsburgh Steelers, en route to yet another AFC Central Division championship, lead the Buffalo Bills 21-0. And we'll be back at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh with the 4th quarter after we pause for this word.
Boy, skydiver! Pull the chute! Oh, I went too much to the right.
Maybe one of these days they'll let me play. They never seem to get tired of playing Atari. Probably because Atari has so many different games to play. Games like basketball, football, chess, bowling, outlaw. More than 30 games that I never get to play.
I'll play with you, Daddy.
Thanks.
No other company offers you as many different video game cartridges as Atari.
This is a first-class, honest-to-goodness, exciting car.
Lee Iacocca, chairman of Chrysler, invites owners of T-Bird in Monte Carlo to test drive the new Dodge Murata.
I like the Dodge Murata a lot better than the Ford Thunderbird.
The Murata's got my Monte Carlo beat.
Murata's engineered for fuel efficiency, but not at the expense of styling or luxury.
I like the comfort and the feel of the Murata better than my Thunderbird.
Get a 1980 Murata now at a participating dealer and get a $300 check direct from Chrysler.
Alcoa can't wait.
Since time began, nature has demonstrated the wisdom of recycling. In rain that falls to the earth, travels to the sea, and rises to the clouds again. Now, man must learn to recycle too. At Alcoa, we've already started by initiating programs that are saving billions of aluminum cans every year. Raw materials and energy too. Recycling, we're simply doing what nature has always done.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
To be an Olympic champion, it takes natural talent, hours and hours of practice, and a burning desire to be the best. But there's one other element that can't be overlooked: money. The cost of preparing a team for the Olympics is staggering, and we need your help, because America doesn't send athletes to the Olympics, Americans do. Send your contribution to U.S. Olympic Committee, Box 1980C, Cathedral Station, Boston. For $25 or more, you'll receive this Olympic medallion. This message sponsored by the U.S. Olympic Committee and NBC.
Now, for those of you in Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay, you'll see the entirety of this game, but for the rest of our network, we're going to switch to the Kansas City-Tampa Bay game, which is coming down the stretch. Jay Randolph and Paul McGuire. Mike Webster, the All-Pro center, was drafted in the 5th round in that great draft year, 1974. And he is regarded, he was a unanimous selection to the Pro Bowl team. Players and coaches voting on it. Everybody voted for Mike Webster as the AFC center. Right now it is 1st down and 10 for the Buffalo Bills, just outside their 20-yard line. Ferguson swept under. He had time to fall back, cock his arm, and then no time to reload because Joe Green was there and Dwight White was there.
Don, they just took the left side of the offensive line and pushed him right back to Ferguson. He was trying to go on a little hook and go to Lewis. Pump fake. Now Lewis is down the field. Too late, boys.
What you really worry about here is losing your quarterback with the shoulder separation when people that big fall on him on this hard, artificial turf.
Well, I'm sure it doesn't come up in Ferguson's mind, injuries being part of the ball game, but there are some questions that might be asked about, you know, this is the 3rd game in a row that Buffalo has failed to put any points on the board offensively.
They had a problem in the early in the season. They were really rolling up the points. Now, if they run out, Roland Hooks takes the ball out across the 20-yard line, close to the 24. Brings the ball ahead for Buffalo, and the Bills, with 14-17 showing on the game clock, trailing in the game 21-0, have needed a big play all game long. It looked like they might get some when they came out throwing early and drove down the field their first possession of the game. They kicked a field goal, but it was negated by a delay of game call. 5-yard penalty was marked off, and subsequently Buffalo's field goal attempt by Nickemeyer the second time was blocked. That's as close as they've been to a score. It's 3rd down and 7 now for the Bills. Ferguson takes a deep drop, swings the ball out. It's intercepted and lost. Lauren Taves had it and lost it. They're going to Mike Collier, but there was nothing there, and Lauren Taves very nearly had it as Ferguson goes off.
Had the play been complete, it would have been short of a first down. People say, well, why do you throw it there? Well, you do because you don't have time to throw it to anybody else. Taves was all over Collier, was in perfect position to make the interception. They're covering him like blankets.
And Rusty Jackson comes out once more to punt. He's got 9 punts underway, and there's his 9th in the air, and T-Bell ready to return it for a 9th time. These great punt returners, boy, they stand there and dance and weave a little bit, and all of a sudden, the stutter step, and they explode through a gap, and they can be gone. And T-Bell's one of them that can go the distance. We'll be back at Three Rivers Stadium in a moment.
We got a Dodge van.
And $300.
Only Chrysler gives you a $300 check. Not GM, not Ford.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a Dodge Mirada and $300. Get a car, truck, get a check direct from Chrysler. But hurry, this offer ends December 31st at participating Dodge dealers.
Country saying yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. At participating dealers.
Now kids everywhere can enjoy the thrill of auto racing with these new radio-controlled cars from Radio Shack. On the track, obstacle course, or off the road, you control all the action with a radio transmitter. Detailed replicas of actual vehicles. There's even a tank. 10 different models priced from $11.95 to $49.95. Excitement for kids and grown-ups too. The gift-priced radio-controlled toys only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
On Disney's Wonderful World, Joseph Bottoms takes you on a magical journey through the spectacular sights and sounds of special effects. Tonight on NBC.
Tonight, take a tour through the magical world of special effects on Disney's Wonderful World. Then it's the holiday event of the season. Billy D. Williams and Maria Schell star in the world premiere of Christmas Lilies of the Field, followed by a spotlight on the shocking safety records of commuter airlines on primetime Sunday, tonight on NBC. To live action, Franco Harris gets the call, runs into Shane Nelson, advances the ball out across the 45-yard line on a first down carry. Harris is ahead for 3 yards for Pittsburgh. So the Steelers gearing up after that tough loss Monday night. Get a better idea of just the overall class of this organization. That penalty call, or the onside kick call, which the league office later ruled was an official's mistake. Never got one thing in print from the Steelers about
Buffalo. Well, the funny thing is Pittsburgh felt they shouldn't have left it into a situation that one call could dictate the outcome, and I think that's what champions are like.
And always is Art Rooney. That's Art standing up, looking better than ever. One of the founding fathers of the National Football League, along with George Halas. And now his sons run the franchise, and nobody runs it better, any franchise. And if you hadn't heard, it's unfortunate news that George Halas Jr., not George Halas Sr., George Halas Jr. died at age 54 of a heart attack in Chicago. George Halas Sr. going strong at 85. And his Bears right now are leading 21-0 on a very saddened day for them. Straight ahead, the carry goes, and the Pittsburgh Steelers drive it ahead for another first down. On a 3rd down and 3 carry, they get it, and the Steelers move the chain markers, get 4 new downs, and keep the clock running with 11:55 to play. Cincinnati, Jack Thompson just ran for a touchdown, John.
Jack Thompson from Washington State. He might be the next great young quarterback. He's got all the tools, but he needs to do a little playing time, and when Kenny Anderson is ahead of you, the playing time is sparse.
The throw in Samoan to Jack Thompson. Franco Harris closing in on yet another 100-yard day. He has 89 yards. Bradshaw throws on first down, and a perfect strike to John Stallworth, who steps out of bounds at the 32. So the Steelers have another first down.
Bradshaw just rolls out a little bit to the left to give himself a better angle toward the sideline. It's a long throw, but it's in perfect timing with Stallworth. Just as he turns around, bop, there comes the ball. How sweet it is.
Stallworth with his 200th career reception, 5th most in Steeler history. First down and 10, Pittsburgh at the 33-yard line of Buffalo. Thornton turns out wide and gets to the 30. Got 2. It'll be second down and 8. Knocked down by Lucius Sanford, 57. You see the big power backs of Pittsburgh come out of the 3 points.
Little cross buck. Thornton takes one step behind Franco. Doesn't have him as a lead blocker. It's another trap play. Field is still a little bit slippery. If you don't find a hole at first, you're going to have a little problem creating one.
And the temperature is starting to drop in Pittsburgh. 21-16, New England railing behind on a Don Calhoun touchdown run. Swing pass goes out to Franco. And Harris is to the 30 and no more. On a second down and 8 play, it'll bring up third down and 8. It gets a little rough here in December, just like they like it in Pittsburgh for Steeler football. Kansas City trailing Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers with a playoff chance. They're in if they win that game. Baltimore hitting the slumping Giants 24-7 in the fourth quarter. San Francisco looking for its third win. Its second in a row, leading Atlanta. And the Bears leading St. Louis 21-0. Now the Steelers on a third down 7 play go to 3 wide receivers. Bradshaw all day long. He fires and wide open is Vince Vaughn. Vaughn scurries ahead to the 10-yard line. He is thrown back, but the Steelers are down close and challenging once again with 9:40 to play in the game.
This is about as open as any receiver's been all day long. Swan gets inside Mario Clark. When he does so, the linebacker goes the other way. Bradshaw finally picks him out. He's got plenty of time to operate. No one was close early, but they all close in at the end.
Well, they come in bunches when you get down in there in the middle of the defense, but Swan took the ball and headed right into the power. And advances for another first down. It's first and 10 now for the Steelers. They're leading 21-0. Here we go. Harris. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. So Harris busts in with his 12th touchdown of the season.
Don, that's just like you draw them up on the board. When they get down there, you know they're going to trap, but it doesn't seem to change a thing. Take a look. Jerry Mullins pulls from his right guard position, knocks the right tackle out of the way, and Franco goes untouched into the end zone.
So Harris with that burst up the middle, John, gets 100 yards for the day and another touchdown. Matt Barr's extra point is once again right there. And so the Steelers have command of the game. They haven't won now. They didn't long ago as they lead it 28-0.
You can feel us coming now, a fresh look on the scene, with a whole new style of living, light and crisp and clean. That's why now we say the age of 7-Up is here, because we love that crisp, refreshing taste, so light and crystal clear. Move it up, look it up, America is turning 7-Up, reaching up, feel it up. America is turning 7-Up.
By trying harder to save you money, Avis introduced low See America rates.
Keep on trying, America. The effort is really everything. We keep on trying, America.
Because we keep trying, more Americans can afford to see more of America.
At Avis, we don't give up. Trying.
NBC Sports World salutes the champions of '79. It's been a memorable year, and we'll review the many magic moments with an exciting look at the year's major events on Sports Year '79. A salute to the champions, next Saturday on Sports World.
The 35th time that Franco has rushed for 100 yards in his 8 seasons as a Pittsburgh Steeler. 28-0 Pittsburgh. Here's the kickoff from Barr, taken downfield by Keith Moody. He's to the 20. And out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Rick Moser on the special teams play as Franco Harris puts the cape on as the temperature is dropping. Bowl games coming up on NBC. Christmas Day, the University of Pittsburgh versus Arizona at 3:30 Eastern Time in the Fiesta Bowl. And then the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. Top-ranked Ohio State, third-rated USC, with the national championship on the line in the Rose Bowl at 4:30 Eastern Time. Then that night at 8 o'clock, John, you and I will be down at the Orange Bowl in Miami as unbeaten Florida State, ranked 4th in the country, 11-0 on the year, goes against 5th-rated Oklahoma. The Bills go to the run. Mike Collier takes it across the 35-yard line. John, what about the Bills now on offense with Joe Ferguson? The fact that they scored so much and now all of a sudden their offense just has dried up.
Right now, I mean, confidence is an elusive factor. Sometimes when you're going real well, everything seems so easy, and just a few bad breaks start to creep into your offense. All of a sudden, you wonder if you'll ever score another touchdown. That's the way it's been for Buffalo, and it doesn't take a whole lot to have that happen. They've got to find offensive line, but they haven't been able to operate today, and when they don't get control of the line of scrimmage, nobody can do anything offensively.
So Tampa Bay ends its 3-game losing streak with a 3-0 win in the rain over Kansas City, and Tampa Bay wins the NFC Central Division. Collier takes the swings fast, gets out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. They list Franco Harris at 6'2", 225, but you stand next to him, he looks like an offensive tackle. He's more like 6'4", 240.
And no, you know, people don't really take a look at his speed and say he's a speed back. But if you ever watched him outrun Tom Darden for Cleveland for 70 yards, and Darden didn't gain a stride. If anything, he lost one.
That's right.
There can be no doubt about his speed.
He's like Earl Campbell. You don't need those little breakaway backs. You got people like Harris and Campbell. They can outrun a defense in addition to run over one. The Bills on first down go to Mike Collier. He gets it across the 40-yard line. The backup quarterbacks are working out now for the Steelers. Kruzek and Stout. NFL 79 from New York with Brian Gumbel and Mike Adamle will be coming up next with NFL Report. The concluding week of regular season play.
I think you'll be watching a lot of the regulars coming off the field in the last 7.5 minutes. Joe Green just made his exit.
The terrible towels are waving. And the Steelers dig in. Second down and 8 coming up now for the Buffalo Bills.
Here they come.
Gary Butler going for the ball, bumped off the play by Ron Johnson. Ferguson doesn't have time to do anything more than just go back quickly as he can and unload, because if he tries to set up and look things over, he's gone.
That's one of the few times today that Pittsburgh has sent 7 or 8 people out of the quarterback because they haven't needed to. And even when they were man-to-man, Blunt and Johnson covered the receivers as well as they could be covered, and there was nowhere to go with the ball.
Steeler defense has really looked sharp, and of course they're coming off one of the hardest hitting games of the season last Monday night against the Houston Oilers. Pittsburgh now the victory today, wins the AFC Central, ties Dallas's record of making the playoffs 8 consecutive years. The Steelers, most importantly, will have a week off now. They get those injured people back and ready. Ferguson gets time this time, throws it too hard. I guess, John, you've played long enough to certainly know when you're standing back there and you've been hit a number of times in the game, when you do have time, you're still waiting for that shoe to come down.
You bet. It's like those I gotchas. You never know when the second one's coming, but you know it's coming. The gotchas.
Jackson back to kick for Buffalo.
Mike Kruzek has taken snaps from Mike Webster. He's getting set to come in the game the next time Pittsburgh has the ball. P-Bell is back again. The 10th punt he's taken from Rusty Jackson, and the 10th one he's returned. Boy, there is a special teams play. Number 91, Ken Johnson. Big guy can run. But can they get it in the end zone? That's what they need right now. Often. 46-yard punt. Steelers get back to the ball. Kruzek comes out. We take a break in the action here at Pittsburgh.
If life would just stand still and wait for you to focus, you'd never miss a picture. But life doesn't stand still.
You need the SX70 sonar, the world's smartest camera.
It'll focus itself for you, set the exposure, and hand you the picture. No other camera can do it all. Now you can get all the shots you might have missed.
Polaroid's SX70 sonar, because life doesn't wait for you to focus.
Mustang, Firebird, Datsun ZX, TR7, Sika, and Dodge 024 start out together. But all sport coupes are not engineered equal. More aerodynamic styling moves Dodge 024 out ahead. And 024's automatic transmission mileage ratings are higher than the others. Some don't have 024's precise rack and pinion steering or four-wheel independent suspension. And none have 024's front-wheel drive.
We're building 024s day and night so you can take delivery of these great mileage cars right now at your Dodge dealer.
On the punt, there was a penalty assessed against Buffalo. The legal man was downfield, so they come back to do it all over again. Our spotters today have been Barney McGinley and Tim Fogarty. Joe Costanza, the veteran mathematician on statistics. George Jordan also assisting us. Here is the punt now by Rusty Jackson downfield to T-Bell. Another penalty marker down. And Bell gets the ball across the 35-yard line. You talked, John, about the confidence factor, and I guess that is a very vital thing. When things are going good, everything seems to be in gear. And
Don, I think what really happens is rather than doing your own job, you start doing your friend's job. And people lose confidence in one another, not only confidence in themselves. And until everybody gets back on page one and starts reading from page one through the end of the book, oftentimes that confidence factor never gets back.
Well, it'll be till next August before the Bills get it underway again in the preseason.
They'll have a lot of time to regroup, and I'm sure they'll get a good draft, and that could put them in a good position to contend next year, but not today.
On the run back, Buffalo, 53. Face mask, first down.
Those guys on the punt team must be getting tired. You know, that's no picnic running up and down that field, getting knocked around.
That's right. Bruzek and the Steelers come out on offense, first and 10, the Buffalo 47-yard line. 6:39 to play. Here is Greg Hawthorne, their #1 draft choice from Baylor. A lot of people thought he was the best back in college football coming out of the draft. He had a hip injury, and he was the last player picked in the first round. The Steelers could afford that luxury.
You bet. He was a perfect example of what Pittsburgh can afford because they are so talented. They could allow him to get his hip well, to take some time off, not play a lot this year, and in the future they feel he'll help them a lot.
Jerry Bradshaw and Joe Green. Checking Jerry's head out. Boy, he really got a shot in the head. Came right back and played a great game still. Hawthorne with a lot of explosion comes out quickly and hits down to the 40-yard line on a 2nd and 5 carry. Shane Nelson made the knockdown for Buffalo, along with nose tackle Mike Kadish. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make it to the playoffs. John McKay saw it dangling, thought it might get away.
His defense hung in there all year long. His offense was a little sporadic, but his defense did play when they had to. If you shut somebody out, you ought to get to go to the playoffs.
One of the writers down there wrote that the Buccaneers gave Chicago a thread of hope, which the Bears turned into a rope and tried to hang him by. Kruzak running, he's going to take off, first down and more. And Mike Kruzak is down to the 17-yard line.
Mike is saving nothing for the next play. He hasn't had much action this year, and when he's going to take advantage of it.
Kruzak had 3 rushes for -2 yards up till now in this season.
Well, he got a pretty good pass rush from Hutchinson, who's playing for his first time today. Eluded that, picked up a first down. They've still got the ball. Just under 5 minutes to play. Get down there, Mike.
22 yards downfield, and now the Steelers go first and 10 as rain starts to fall hard here in Pittsburgh. Running with the ball. is Anthony Anderson, a rookie from Temple, who's averaging 7 yards a rush in his first season. Boy, the Steelers have players on top of players.
Problem is, they don't have enough positions out here to let everybody play. You're playing behind Blyer and Thornton and Harris. Your playing time's going to be low.
Rain is really coming down now. The wind is blowing, the temperature's dropping. Playoff weather in Pittsburgh.
You wondered when a few people might get up and start heading for the exits, but until now they've been here having a great time.
They have. Now they've got another use of terrible towels. 2nd down and 4. Hawthorne runs hard and gets down to about the 9-yard line. Jeff Nixon and Steve Freeman knocked him down. Hawthorne is 6'3", 220 pounds. Had a dislocated hip in college, but he is fully well. This is the heir apparent to Franco Harris, they say. But I think Franco's going to be doing it for some years to come.
He doesn't look ready to sack it into me.
100 yards today, 2 touchdowns. Steelers in the lead 28-0 with 2:54 to play. Moser carries the ball right down inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. John Brody is heading down to the Steelers locker room. Spraying a little champagne on old John down there. 4th down coming up and inches to go for the first down. So the Steelers look for the signal from the sideline. Go after it, says Coach Knoll. So they'll run the ball once again as the clock winds down now close to the 2-minute warning. Steelers are just waiting for 2 minutes. And there's a timeout on the field now as the 2-minute warning is given. So Mike Kruzak comes over. When we return, he'll have a 4th down and inches play.
Hi, champ. You sure did it tonight.
Yeah, and are we gonna celebrate? Beer? He's the champ, you chump. We want something special. Bull! Bull? The Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. It's a special premium brew that's in a class by itself. This Schlitz Malt Liquor's a bold brew. Let's go a few rounds with the bull.
If you want to change up taste, get a big bull taste. Don't say beer, say bull. The Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull.
Everything looks so good, I can't decide.
Well, before you do, take a look at the homeowner's insurance bill we just got.
Oh, that's steep, huh?
Before you pay, compare it with Allstate.
Allstate?
Sure, it's easy. You'll find Allstate agents at over 700 neighborhood offices, as well as at Sears. So come in and compare.
We've got a better deal.
Hey. Now can we have lunch?
Well, now we can have anything we want, except that.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
And that's a promise from us, the good hands people.
There's one of the gentlemen enjoying himself up on the top of the dugout as the Steelers come down the stretch to their 12th win of the year. Got the bad foot going, but he's up there dancing in the rain. Doesn't know it's raining. Here's a handoff. Hawthorne drives the ball down to the 9-yard line. It was a 4th down and 1-foot carry, and he needed that for the first time. We'll see if he got it. This could be the Steelers' first shutout of this season. They can keep the Bills from scoring, and the Buffalo Bills defense holds, and Pittsburgh did not get the first down. Chuck knows some advice, but to no avail right now as Buffalo takes over the ball. 1st and 10, the game clock showing 1:56 to play. Cincinnati leading Cleveland 13-12 in the 4th quarter. New England leading Minnesota 24-16 in the 4th quarter. Tampa Bay has beaten Kansas City and won the NFC Central Division 3-0 Buccaneers over the Chiefs. Baltimore beating the Giants 31-7. Atlanta now leading San Francisco 31-21. Ferguson throws in the end zone, and Collier loses the ball. Incomplete pass. Good possibility that the Miami Dolphins will be playing here at Pittsburgh in an AFC divisional playoff game. A wild card next week. It's going to be interesting to see who will be in that. The final weekend of regular season play. Oakland with a distinct shot. Denver with even a better one. Cleveland Browns still in the running if they can win. If they lose at Cincinnati, that's gone. 7 teams are in. 6 teams are hoping for those final 3 spots. On second down and 10, Ferguson stands in, throws hard, and he gets his man. Jerry Butler catches the ball. He's a racehorse when he gets it. So quick. Butler with the reception for a big yardage. J.T. Thomas finally knocked him down. We'll watch it on replay. Boy, Butler is just a strider. Cruises through that secondary. Dropping to throw is Ferguson. Penalty marker is down in the secondary. They're pointing at Dirt Winston. Number 53. Next Sunday, football second season starts here on NBC with exclusive coverage of the AFC Wild Card game. The loser goes home while the winner advances into divisional playoff competition. The AFC Wild Card game following NFL 79 next Sunday here on NBC. The call will go against the Steelers. Here it is from Fred Silva.
Holding, number 54. First down.
Zach Valentine, another in the parade of great linebackers in this team, a rookie from East Carolina, was called for the hold, so it's an automatic first down on the defensive penalty for Buffalo. Bills have the ball first and 10 at their 34. Would like to avert the shutout, but they're a long way from it. 1:23 to play. Pittsburgh 28, Buffalo nothing. Swing pass goes out to Collier. He gets out of bounds, stopping the clock with 1:18 to play. Philadelphia and Houston are scoreless in the first quarter right now. So are New Orleans and Los Angeles. Chuck Noll's team heading in now with a 12-4 regular season record. Steelers will have won 14 straight home games with this victory today and 22 of their last 23. They're after their 6th straight. They've won their 6th straight divisional title in the AFC Central. 6 straight, and you're playing in the same division. Teams like Houston and Cleveland. Ferguson rolling out. He throws. He put full smoke on that one. Hasn't lost anything off his fastball as the game wears on. Lou Picone couldn't handle it. Our producer today for NBC has been David Stern. Our director, Jim Cross. As the clock shows 1:11 left to play, and the Pittsburgh Steelers in command as they've been throughout. They've got a touchdown, 7 points in every quarter. Coming up next is the NFL report. The highlights, the stories, the big plays of this, the 16th and final weekend of the regular season, 79 season. The Bills have 3rd down and 7 coming up. The ball's at their 38-yard line. Out to the right, Frank Lewis. And Lou Picone. Jerry Butler goes out to the left. And a timeout is called on the field. They've been lucky sevens for the Steelers today. First touchdown was the throw from Bradshaw, the spectacular reception by Lynn Swann for the touchdown that really turned out to be all the points that would be needed. Unless Buffalo can take it in here and get out the schneid, 28-0. Tonight, take a tour through the magical world of special effects on Disney's Wonderful World. Then it's the holiday event of the season. Billy D. Williams and Maria Schell star in the world premiere of Christmas Lilies of the Field, followed by a spotlight on the shocking safety records of commuter airlines on primetime Sunday. That's tonight on NBC. The Bills in the huddle. They're up and cheering. The fans that are left here at Pittsburgh. John Stallworth was voted by his teammates as the Steelers' most valuable player. Joe Ferguson with 3rd down and 7 coming up. Takes a deep drop. Stands in. Cocks his arm. Gets it away. Intercepted. The ball is picked off by Pittsburgh and run back inside the 25-yard line. Larry Anderson Second-year defensive back from Louisiana Tech. There he goes off the field. He's going to keep that ball. So with 1 minute left, Pittsburgh has the ball back. You'll see Ferguson under very heavy pressure just before the big Steeler defenders came down on him. He releases the ball. Dwight White almost gets him before he got it away, and then right to Anderson. He knows where to go with it. Looking for touchdown time as he takes off straight ahead, but he's knocked down inside the 25-yard line of the 24. So Joe Ferguson, who's had a great season despite some off weeks in the recent weeks. At one point in the season, his quarterback rating was 122. They go to the run, and Moser takes it straight ahead down to the 16-yard line. Jeff Nixon makes the knockdown. Second year back from Rhode Island, Rick Moser. Second down and 2 coming up now for the Pittsburgh Steelers after the 8-yard gain by Moser. The Steelers on the sideline, their coaching staff with reason to celebrate as Pittsburgh will be heading into the playoffs with a head of steam. Hand off. Anderson runs with the ball, turns the corner. Anthony Anderson takes it. Was out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Chuck Noll and his coaches, Raleigh Dotz, Dick Hope, Tom Moore, George Pearls, Lou Reike, Paul Urim, Dick Walker, and Woody Weidenhofer. Chuck Knox assistants, Tom Catlin, Jack Donaldson, Steve Moore, Elijah Pitts, Ray Prochaska, Kay Stevenson, Jim Wagstaff, and Willie Zapalak. The Bills will finish the year 7-9. Football game, 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3, and off it ticks. And the Steelers, for a 6th consecutive year, win the AFC Central Division title. Another divisional championship for the Steelers as Coach Noll goes off. A decisive victory, a 28-0 win after a tough loss Monday night at Houston. So now the Steelers will get a week off. They'll not play next Sunday. They'll watch the wild card game on NBC. And they'll get ready to tee it up right here at Three River Stadium, quite possibly against the Miami Dolphins. But you don't know until all the numbers are in and the playoff teams are decided in what order and where they go. The Pittsburgh Steelers started this game off very quickly after Buffalo drove down the field and took it up for a field goal attempt that was good, and then they get it by a penalty, and the second attempt was blocked. Steelers came right back down. They couldn't get a field goal attempt. Theirs was blocked. Then the next possession they went down, and Terry Bradshaw threw a strike to Lynn Swan, 19 yards out. Really the route was on. It was a consistent, strong effort by the Steelers. Their defense seemed to get better as they shut off the Buffalo Bills and ended up blanking them. There was a serious scare here for Pittsburgh today, and this is it. As Terry Bradshaw rolls out, runs for 8 yards and a first down. He goes down, loses his helmet, and is kicked in the head. And on that play, Jim Haslett, one of the Buffalo linebackers, was thrown out of the game. Bradshaw lacerated badly his helmet. Right now, the Pittsburgh locker room, there's Big Jack Lambert. The fans are celebrating as the final score is in. 28-0, Pittsburgh over Buffalo.
When you're looking your best, all the world is a fun place. How to keep a looking your best. Find what you need all in one place.
Shop Thrift Drug for aftershaves and colognes, like Chaz. Chaz is for the guy who has the freedom to be himself and does what he wants to do. For colognes, aftershaves, and toiletries, Thrift Drug is one beautiful place to save.
In 1980, keep your eye on the Grand Olds gang. Bendick, Bianchi, Boucher, Corey. We're the ones to watch. We're coming on strong. Courtesy, Dar, Dormont, Ferranti. Keep your eye on us. We're moving on.
In the 80s with 3 all-new 4-door Cutlass sedans. Test drive one today at the Grand Olds Gang.
Fry, Jerome, Madison, home. This is the year to keep your eye on the Grand Old Gang.
Genesee is believing.
Genesee country. I couldn't wait to get back here. In my job, I meet the who's who in harness racing. The racing tradition in Genesee country is world famous. And so is our Genesee. Because that Jenny taste is a winner every time.
You can count on Jenny Taste, cause it's brewed in just one place. Genesee is believing.
Spirited adventure on the Big Valley beginning Monday at 4 on Channel 11.